Yeah, how about now?
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, all you weird and wacky creatures. Great evening, and I hope you have had a fantastic weekend. I know I have,
Whoa.
especially seeing English people get defeated, and very happy South Africans, because
Oh, he's just super excited because he won in the man grab. No, it's not man grab. What is it? Oh, dive grass. I forgot. I
no,
always
that's
forget
football.
Isn't it foot?
No, it's rugby.
Hand egg. Oh, rugby. What is rugby? I forget.
Man grab, for God's sakes.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I forgot about your love of man grab. There was also a big show for dive grass as well, with the World Cup.
I don't even know what that means.
The World Cup was this last week.
Dive grab sounds like a quote from Black People Stealing.
Dive grass, as in you dive into the grass.
Oh.
Get it? And then man grab is rugby. Dive grass is football. Like the rest of the world football. American football is hand egg because you put your hand on the egg. Hello, everybody.
This is a very weird start to a show, by the way.
Yeah, no, we very... Actually, not that
unfrequently. Where does this came from? Or, sorry, where does this come from? There's like a thing that you looked. And it was like dorky names for sports.
It's from 4chan.
Oh, it's 4chan.
It's some 4chan thing.
Why is it that so many people who are interested in politics do not have an interest in sport? I don't understand, like, especially from a male perspective.
Because politics is sports, so it doesn't really make
No, it is no, it's not. It is absolutely not. No, it is not. I'm getting pushed back hard here.
I'd love to hear your explications to why they are not similar.
Because the one involves a bunch of effies, fagios, right, debating crappy ass policy, and most people are too stupid. Whereas sports involve, usually, a bunch of men knocking 7 shades of shit out of each other. And if you're a guy and you are not interested in sports, there is something wrong with your testosterone.
I don't think so.
I know, I definitely think, like, if you, how do you get, yeah, but you're a vagina, you have a vagina, so I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
Yeah, I know, as a woman, I know I don't necessarily understand these things.
Okay, sports ball, okay, maybe football. In the English sense, is sold out.
I have to be... I've told this before, but there's only one sport that I enjoy watching, and that's American baseball. Or I guess any baseball. There's no, like, confusion there. And that's because I get to sit in an arena, and it lasts for, like, 8 hours, and I get to get drunk and eat hot dogs. And that's why I like baseball. That, and I got to see lots of very nice tushies. Tukuses, if you will. Tukai. Is it if it's a tukus if it's a plural of tukus, is it a tukai?
Okay, sports have not been used as a vehicle for principles that I hate. Maybe your crappy gay ass sports, but not mine. My sport does not involve politics. Yes, because this is the one good thing about my country, and I swear to God, if you blew to politics, I'll kick 7 shades of shit out of you.
Alright, I just enjoy seeing men's nice bums.
No, I enjoy seeing just the glorious of passing rugby. Like, if you see a 75-meter gain, 1 phase play with 3 offloads, oh my God, that is just, mwah, that is poetry in motion right there. Which is something no one will understand unless you happen to watch rugby. Then you can understand this. Oh, look, see, South Africa in the chat. There we go.
For 35, I believe that's South African money. ZAR says, Rands, to my fellow countrymen, I love how Elon is trolling the clowns. It gives my small amount of joy back in my black heart. I salute you, General Spoon. Yeah, yes. I do agree. I mean, I understand why Spoon loves Elon so much, just because if he was my countryman, I would similarly probably feel very
he's very mischievous.
Just to be very mischievous, make the entire world very angry. That alone is worth something. I enjoy watching him troll everybody.
There was a small attempt at trying to subvert the club rugby in England, but that did not last very long. Because there was a bunch of because the way South Africa's rand is very, very weak, so a bunch of them play their trade in England. The vast majority of South Africa's big players they play in France and England because the money's better. So Sale, which is one of the clubs in England, they did the whole woke thing. Yeah, so a bunch of them did the whole bowing thing,
Sorry.
and all the South African players are just like, no, we're not bowing for shit. Like, we know what politics does in sport, and fuck you, we're not bowing for shit. And they got in some trouble, and then afterwards, like, no one spoke about that shit ever in rugby again. It was like, no, we're not going to get everyone to bow this shit, and like, if we don't get compliance, we're not going to try this crap, and like, that was done.
I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't understand any of it.
You know the stupid bowing gesture? The kneeling crap.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, this was tried in some clubs, and it just clubs meaning as in a local team in England, and they just went.
Okay, but who
Fuck
won?
you know.
Who won the cup or whatever? Like, there was a thing about
what cup? What the fuck are you
recent-
talking about?
the World Cup in the footy.
That's still going on.
It's still going. I thought it was over. Oh well.
No, it's barely started.
Oh shit. Shows what I know.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, that's still
I
going to
don't
be.
understand sport. Again,
Yeah.
the only sport that I enjoy watching is baseball.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay, well, of course, you're American. I like how you guys call it the World Series, but it's only played by America.
Yeah, because it's the bet. Yeah, because guess what? It's the best game in the whole world. Suck my American ding dong.
It's not the best game in the world, by the way.
Baseball is the best.
Best sport is rugby.
Baseball is the best sport.
Do not make me bring up a clip and show you why.
Time to start a poll. Best sport? ? It's baseball, by the way, but baseball.
This is going to be heavily dependent.
Oh, it's gonna make people very angry.
No, it's going to be heavily dependent based on the nationality of the audience here.
I don't even know how to spell rugby.
RUGBY.
And then football. I'll put that way, and then football.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, now the crowd is going to be separated here.
No, whatever. I know.
Baseball.
Fight.
Rugby. Fuck you.
Go, everybody! Fight amongst yourselves. I only had the option to include 4. I can only include 4 options in the poll. But rugby wins immediately. Oi, starting off close, but I spelled football, American football wrong. Whatever. Shall we have some fun tonight? So there's a reason why. There isn't actually a good reason why, but there's so much stuff going on that we thought we'd do an inter-week.
There's a lot of dumb shit going on right now.
Yes.
And it's a lot of weird and wacky shit. You've got Kanye and the whole Trump thing, which is a bunch of bullshit, by the way. Then you've got...
Hasahapa is voting with his $5 for Ultimate Frisbee, which I was not able to include in the poll. But being the one person to put money down on it, Hasahapa is now winning over rugby. That's how we're deciding this.
Ultimate Frisbee sounds like something Glowies would play.
Oh, it's like something that happens on like college campuses mostly. But I thought let's start out by, even though it's like we missed this, I think it was on my list 2 weeks ago, I think, but the Black Panther China stuff. I know that people have probably covered this to an excessive degree, but I thought
the only acceptable answers are rugby or hurling. Is that an Irishman by any chance? Yeah. Rugby or hurling. Is Mr. Twisted Frenzy by any chance Irish?
Well, he paid in euros.
So I'm assuming Irish.
And Dreadnought for 5 says the Japanese are also big fans of baseball. Yep, me too. Dwarf tossing. Let's get into the
dwarf tossing sounds like a dwarf tossing. Dwarf tossing. I can't say this phrase. Dwarf tossing.
Toss the dwarf.
Yeah, dwarf tossing. That sounds like something that you can use Antifa for.
I'm going to. It's very German sounding. I'm going to engage in some dwarf tossing. Yeah.
That's very camp, that accent, isn't it?
We toss it to the dwarf. I toss him back. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. No offense to our Germans viewers. It just sounds like a German sport.
How many do we have? We've got at least 3, don't we?
Yeah, it just sounds like a German sport, which
and all the Germans on this channel are monarchy.
I hope you do toss dwarfs, because why not?
I think Gimli would be very upset with you, by the way.
Gimli wouldn't like it, but what's he gonna do? You got enough people, he can't help but be tossed.
Yeah. Don't tell the elf.
Salad, please. Let's not make it weird. Now
If you toss this salad, you're just gonna just toss a whole load of beer. There's an image in my head I never thought I would see. It's like the world's hairiest balls.
Oh no, the world's hairiest. Oh, things.
The stream has already gone really off the rails.
Yeah,
I don't know where this is going to go.
So article.
Okay, hold on, I'll bring this one up. Yeah.
Bring it up.
Yeah, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
So
it's not really forever. It's banned in China.
By the way, is the most. I would say like it is the most successful movie currently in the box office in the West across all the West.
That's not saying much, by the way. They're all shit.
No, it's beating out the. What's the Disney movie called? That's the gay movie.
I don't know. I haven't watched the Disney.
I'm literally typing Disney gay movie.
I think the last time I watched the Disney
Strange
movie.
World.
The last time I think I watched the Disney movie, like legitimately, I think I was still in South Africa as a kid.
Yeah, me too. Well, not me in South Africa, but like I don't know.
I can't even remember the last Disney movie I even watched.
Here, just to bring this up very quickly.
I really like Pocahontas, actually.
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving box office, Disney's Strange World bombs with 18.6 million as Wakanda Forever repeats number one. Wakanda Forever has been at number one for like 3 weeks now.
18.6, that's it.
This is a full animated film, and it got 18.6 million.
God damn, that's peanuts.
Well, now I don't know anything about this movie, and I'll tell you what. Nobody knows anything about this movie because the only thing anyone has ever heard about this film is that the main character is gay.
Please explain to me why the hell you're making a children's film and you're focusing on sexuality. Like, that's quite fucked up.
On sexuality. Yeah, I mean, like, you can't sell a movie on, hey,
we're not trying to groom your kids, we promise.
Likes to suck cock. Like, there's just, you can't sell a children's film off of that premise of the main character of this film likes to suck dick. And it's like, yeah, dude. And yes,
we
I have
suck
heard the budget,
dick, and so does your movies.
It's like 150 million. Yeah. So,
oh God.
It's not gonna. Yeah. Overall, it's been a bleak Turkey Day.
That's because nobody wants to watch this crap.
Sales capping off at just 127 million. Those figures mark a 10% decline from last year's Thanksgiving, during the peak of the pandemic. By the way, 142 million bounty, boosted by Encanto and House of Gucci. This year's downward trend is particularly concerning because Thanksgiving is at least in the pre-pandemic era, used to consistently deliver strong box office results to the tune of at least 250 million over 5 days. Nobody wants to see this shit, Disney.
That's because Disney doesn't give a crap.
See it. No, what I'm saying. Well, yeah, they don't care how much money they lose, which is the most insane thing.
Yeah, because they're not interested in making money. They're interested in being ideological perverts.
Yes, and when they just complain and cry and scream and bitch and shit and piss and come maybe about the fact that, oh, people didn't watch our gay movie. That means they're all homophobes. No, it means no one wants to see your fucking shit. Dude, no one wants to see this.
I'm not going to lie.
No one wants to see it.
Picturing a world of a lot of homophobic people, that does not sound like a bad world.
I don't even know what the goddamn premise is.
See Top Gun Maverick, yeah. What is Top Gun? Let me just see. How much does Top Gun Maverick gross?
Top Gun Maverick exploded because it was just a movie about...
It was just a good movie.
Yes, it was just an exciting aviation, action film. So that movie did extremely well, even though the previous film in its franchise was 20 years ago.
Top Gun grossed over $700 million, becoming the 5th highest grossing movie of all time.
Yes, this one can't reach 20 million.
I remember V said a while ago, can you name me a good movie in the last 2 years or 5 years? Like Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, V, there you go. There's one. That was an excellent movie.
I mean, I'm sorry. Look, I don't have a problem with gay characters whatsoever. But one, Disney did not advertise
I do. If it's the main thing that you advertise about your film's going to be shit.
We should be fine to watch an advertisement for this film, right? Because it's an advertisement. It shouldn't be an issue.
Can I ask a question?
Let's just see. I haven't seen even...
But someone explain this to me. If you are so open inclusivity and all the shit. Why is the fact that your character gay such a big mind-blowing thing to you?
That was the entire selling point of the fucking movie.
Yeah, but who
so
cares?
Here's the official trailer. Only people who care about being ideologically correct. So here's the let's see. Okay, Spoon. We should be allowed to watch this because this is an official trailer. We shouldn't be flagged for this. This is just a trailer. Let's react to it. This is the official trailer from 2 months ago.
What's the dislike?
A trailer 2 months ago. Oh, hang on. I did put into my other thing. Hang on. Into my other browser.
I bet you the dislike is like high as shit.
It is a 48,000 upvote to 37,000 dislike. It's about even. Okay.
Really?
So yeah, it's about an even
that's gay.
up to down dislike. But let's see this movie that is apparently like a catastrophic failure for Disney. Which again, the only selling point, literally the only selling point, is that it has a gay boy in it. I also don't like how all these movies look the same now. Like all the animation.
Have you ever wondered when we will ever make any money?
Have you? Yeah. Well, you used to. All the characters look exactly the same now. There's no individual artistic difference between it all looks identical.
What kind of airship is that?
I've never seen anything like it! Baby Clade! What is the president doing in our front yard?
Our entire world is in grave danger. I want you to come with me on an expedition.
Everyone's like really ugly. It's just like, I mean, like,
why do they all look like claymation?
They all look like claymation. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they don't look attractive. They're like intentionally designed to be like a little bit weird looking, I guess. I haven't seen this before, guys.
This supposed to be the average person, is it?
Oh, well, maybe. I guess that's okay. But yeah, there's no distinct art style, so it's hard to.
Yeah, there isn't.
I wish there was a distinct art style so that I
could
understand
this looks
these
like?
Characters better.
This looks like the exact same animation as Wallace and Gromit.
Kind of, but with no soul to it, right?
Yeah, there's less color.
But there's no soul to it. Like it's just
the most impressive thing in this entire picture, this still picture right there, is the fact that the shading on the light looks pretty good. That's about it. I'll pay more attention to the light in the background.
Pretty. It looks pretty, but the characters...
It looks like Wallace and Gromit, but cursed.
Yeah, I don't have any desire to be interested in these characters. I'm just saying it because they don't look unique or interesting or something that I would want.
It's cursed because there's no white people in it.
Oh, no, don't fuck with me on that. Like, because again, like, you know, like my favorite animated films are Disney's Atlantis and Road to El Dorado, both of which include the best brown girl waifus in all of animated cinematic history.
Okay, if you're gonna go with the waifu crap, then I'm bowing out. That's not.
Don't worry about it.
That's where I leave.
all right. I won't do it.
Why does a black woman look like Aunt Jemima? Oh my god.
But of course, like, okay, and who cares about it? But they look so generic. Like nothing about this movie looks interesting to me.
I'm a huge fan, thank you, of your dad. Do you think you could forge his autograph? What?
Why does pause it for a second?
It's the same studio as Big Hero 6. I love Big Hero 6.
Why does everyone in this movie sound like they would work and were just fired from Twitter?
Because they probably were.
Because just the way that the guy spoke there. I'm such a big fan of your dad. You can so picture someone on Twitter saying and speaking like that. No one in the real world says that kind of shit.
Yeah, and Warblade for 14ZAR says it's 3D Cal Arts. Yeah, exactly. It's the same.
Oh, that's what you meant.
School, I guarantee.
Sorry, Ethelene.
Where in the world are we?
This is like one of the worst performing Disney movies of all time, by the way. Just to point out where we're showing this.
We are clearly in uncharted territory.
Why does it always have to be like a big unattractive lesbian? I don't get it.
Because lesbians need love too.
Aren't unattractive. It's so frustrating. Speaking as a gay myself, why does every lesbian have to be fat and unattractive? I don't get it.
Because lesbians aren't attractive.
Lies.
Yes.
Hello. You probably don't understand a word I'm
Lies.
saying.
Of course I understand you.
Huh?
Dad? Dad? Grandpa? I'm a grandpa.
What is this place?
The cliffs are alive, and the waters dissolve the flesh off your bones.
Everything down here is trying to kill us.
The thing is, like, this actually seems like a fun movie premise, but because, like,
What's the premise? I
First of all,
have
it didn't
no
act-
idea what the hell
they go to another, they go on a space adventure to a different world. You know, it's
but-
fun.
Yeah, but there's the premise so far is not telling me as to why. Hey, look, someone just says, let's go on
No.
adventure, and there's no rhyme or reason. They're just there.
I mean, I know. I'm saying, like, you could have made this fun. They didn't advertise this film whatsoever.
I wonder why.
No, no, they didn't. This, by the way, this is a
Aiden 2022, no fat chicks.
Bruh, true. It's a multi, like, hundred.
You guys should listen
dollars
to
went into
Aiden's opinions on heavy people. Her opinions are
Oh no, I won't.
Very,
I
very
can't
based.
say about. Look, I don't have any problem with people who are heavy whatsoever. Not in the least. However, people who are fat and obnoxious about being fat, oh, I got a lot of opinions. People
Oh,
who
okay,
are like,
okay, I
you gotta
suppose.
respect math, shit. Like, that's when you start to make me really fucking angry. I don't have any. The people who are like, hey, I'm fat and I'm cool with it. I'm like, awesome. I don't have a single second thought about people
But
like that.
People
People
who are
like,
heavy are like,
you have
look
to, you
at
have
me.
to think that,
Wait,
and you have to
no.
think I'm more attractive than other people. Like,
No.
those are people that I have a problem with. That's it.
The people who say I'm fat and look at me like I'm trying not to, but you're taking up most of my vision. Can you move?
No, people who are like, I'm fat and I'm more attractive than everyone else. Those are people I really dislike.
It's like the
I
attitude
mean, in
of a
terms
whale.
of, I just like that mentality. Because you clearly don't really feel that way. It's a total fucking cope, and so I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. I think you need to tell yourself the truth. If you're
Lisa
like,
makes a good point. How do we
I
know they're
weigh
gay?
500 pounds. I don't know. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I think the younger brown child at one point is gay in this film.
Why is it
see.
discussing the sexuality of a child?
Him,
That's creepy.
Him. He's the one who's supposed to be gay. I know. Isn't that weird? Also,
You just kind of give me splat vibes.
like, this kid's supposed to be like a teenager or
I
something,
guess I deserve that.
and the whole thing is he's supposed to be the gay one.
Awesome.
He is not awesome. You gave me a machete for my birthday?
Classic Jaeger claimed.
I was 2.
I'm loving this family reunion, but come on, we got a world to save.
We need you to figure
So
this
this
out,
is basically the
otherwise-
worst performing Disney movie in like decades, as far as I've heard.
I'm just messing with you.
Didn't see that.
No one is watching this. And then they're complaining about it, that no one's watching it. Well, you didn't advertise it. The only advertising that Disney did for this film is that there was a gay character in it.
That's it.
And then no one went to go see it. That was literally the only that was
The
exclusive
reason
advertising they did is that gay, there's a gay. And they thought that would work. You live in your own fucking weird microcosm world where you think that's what people actually want to see. No.
Dan says wrong. My internet history is filled with attractive lesbians. Is that before or after they got paid, Dan?
I mean, like, I don't know. But they seem to think, people who made this movie,
I don't understand the
I
premise
believe-
of this movie.
there's a gay in it.
Yeah,
There's a
I
gay
know.
and he's brown.
Yeah, but the thing it just said, we have to save our world, but you come with a spaceship, and then you leave.
Again, Spoon,
And
I
then
think
you say,
the only
"We have
purpose
to
of this
save our
movie's
world."
existence is there is a gay
Is to promote
and
homosexuality.
he is brown. And then that makes it good and people will come and watch it.
No, they
'cause there's
won't.
a brown gay. They didn't though. So
Are you trying to
fucked
make?
up.
Are you trying to
Whoopsie.
make people hate gays?
No, I mean, Disney maybe is. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Disney maybe. Ha ha ha! Look at that rugby
Well,
won
here we have-
40%. Eat a dick.
It did. So Black Panther Wakanda Forever may be banned in China due to LGBT
Good
themes.
based.
Now this is from the 14th. I have looked this same story up. I cannot find any evidence that this was not the case of how things worked. So I think that China did just prevent Wakanda from being shown in China. Yeah?
Isn't
According to
Wakanda
Hollywood
ever supposed to be
Reporter-
really, really racist?
Yes.
Okay.
It is an ethno-state.
Okay.
It's an ethno-state that is exclusively of black Wakandans.
So you're telling me that when
And-
black people are alone by themselves, they create massive technology. I somehow find that premise to be a bit
there's
absurd.
so many. No, well, it's okay. Do you want? You know the story? All the
I do not.
The
I know
Black
there's
Panther
some.
suit?
I know there's some special element or some shit.
an asteroid. An asteroid fell to Earth that had a special material on it that's not available from anywhere else in the entire world.
Okay.
And so they became a reclusive, sealed off nation that didn't want to deal with any of the rest of the people in Africa. They literally sealed themselves off. They built a wall, Spoon. They built a wall to prevent the rest of Africa from being able to profit from their success.
Based.
Yeah. But I'm saying the people who are like, yeah, we made
Ooh.
this
Mike
great,
Phelan
like,
asked a good question, by the way.
African. Oh, Mike
He's-
Phelan, hey.
Yeah, that's a good question.
He said, would Disney ever get so desperate that it would digitally whitewash a film like Black Panther just so they could sell it to the Chinese market?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
essentially. Yes, essentially. I think they would.
But then it wouldn't
But
be
yeah.
Black Panther, then it would be White Panther.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, their force field is controlled by bongo drums in the new movie. You can't make this shit up. Like, it is so racist. It is so bizarrely racist. 'Cause white people have, like, who are like, the white progressives who want to be like, we was Kangs and shit, but they weren't the Kangs, have the most amazing ways of trying to represent that kind of stuff. And by amazing, I mean,
I do love
racist
how
and
overly
discriminatory.
progressive white liberals
Mhm.
are. White liberals are like,
it really is amazing. It really is astonishing how overtly.
but it's not a surprise
like,
though.
They couldn't imagine like how black people in this
No pants. It shows Spoon in the trailer. The dude
society.
slapping his chest
Hang
like a
on.
gorilla. Is that in the trailer?
I don't recall that. So I wouldn't know.
No
what-
pants, baby.
what
Send me
that
the
is
trailer in the
connected.
chat.
But here's the whole premise too. Again, is that
Yeah, I'm in the chat.
These-
Post it. And I'll
this
I'll send it in.
society found this extremely advanced mineral that landed from an asteroid from space. That it's vibranium, and also is the stuff that makes these flowers that the that the kings of Wakanda use to give them super strength. So
So
both
the
Captain
famous
America's
things.
shield is made from this. Listen to me, Spoon. Captain America's shield is made from
yes.
vibranium, which comes from Wakanda.
Yes. Okay. I'm listening.
And then also the reason why Black Panther is so strong is because he has been given this very specific plant to eat that has been influenced by this specific area. But here's the thing. Nobody else in Africa has access to these specific materials, and they cut themselves off from the rest of Africa. They don't, give a bunch of charity to the rest of the African societies all around
His
them.
name was Manny. What the fuck?
Do you know Storm from the X-Men, her background?
I'm aware of her. Yes.
She was born impoverished. I mean, literally begging on the street for money. That was Storm's background. Yeah, that was Storm's background. No one from
gosh.
Wakanda took in Storm.
You see,
It's never happened.
Well, you guys mess around with this shit. I watch sports.
Well, I'm a comic book fan. Anywho,
Yeah. But
Wakanda forever.
somebody said play the trailer because apparently there's a black dude who smacks his chest like a gorilla, and I want to see that.
okay, all right. The Wakanda Forever trailer.
Apparently, according to the
I
chat.
did see it. Yeah, don't lie to me, chat.
Well, No Pants Baby said so. If it isn't that, then blame No Pants Baby.
All right, let's see. It's a trailer. It should be fun.
If this is racist, I'm gonna be happy.
He should have married Aurora Monroe. That's Storm, you know?
Only the most broken people.
It feels really weird that they have I'm sorry, what's the actor's name?
Don't know.
Oh shit. Why is his name escaping me? Who played Black Panther in the first movie? Just have his face on there.
Don't know.
Wait, Storm got Thor's hammer? Yeah, it happened at one point, Furious Dan. Also, Storm and Thor had a weird, very, very short relationship, romantic interest in some side comics, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago about that, yeah.
Can be great leaders.
Oh, Chadwick Boseman, thank you so much, Furious Dan, because Chadwick Boseman, I think, really was a fantastic actor. Thank you guys, everybody. I couldn't recall Chadwick Boseman's name, but he was a fantastic actor, and it was really kind of fucked up, I think, in the beginning that they decided to keep going on with this series after he passed away. I felt that was really disrespectful. Also, Dreadnought for 10 says, by the way, in regards to your surprise about the morals of leftoids, I don't understand how you are surprised. Oh, I was surprised because I didn't think human beings could be so evil. Because
yeah, but I think he means like in this century. Or they were surprised because like they're
or ever.
Yeah, because they're basically just
people,
psychopaths.
I was shocked. I was shocked at how evil people could be. They killed about 90 million people last century. The high ideas are just sheep's clothing. I know.
So by that by that logic, Pinochet was like a savior.
I guess so, yeah. Yes, Storm X Thor is my OTP as well, Thomas. I agree. Okay, so this movie is a large part about they're fighting Namor. He's like the big bad, and so they have to fight Atlantis.
I just thought of a horrible joke.
Any of these things? Namor? What?
No, I just thought of just based on that still photo.
Don't say weird shit.
No, the incident that first came to mind is the neck rings. Like they do that so you can't tell what gender it is.
I like those I actually kind of like those neck ring necklaces. Just don't like what they do longitudinally. But they have fucked up so much lore.
Make it easier to give head.
Namor. I literally can't respond to that shit. Holy fuck, dude. They fucked up one of my favorite characters, which is Namor.
Oh, come on, it's funny.
Spoon, I have loved Marvel comics my entire life, and I have to watch them be consistently and persistently fucking destroyed in front of my eyes.
If you were to watch sports, you wouldn't deal with this shit.
Doesn't make me happy. Yeah, but here's the thing with sports is that, yeah, your boys can lose this year and then win next year.
Exactly.
When they do this shit, it's permanent.
Yeah, which is why sports better. And sports are also real people.
Oh, I hate what you just said.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing.
There's Namor.
Why is there wings on his boots?
Because that's how it was when he was invented in 1930, Spoon.
Okay, going. He looks more like an Aztec warrior than an African one.
Stop being rude towards my hobby.
Listen here. Listen here, you. This involves Africa, so I'm closer to this than you. So shut your face.
No, he's not originally from Africa at all.
Yeah,
this is all new
place
shit
is in
they made
Africa.
up for. This is new shit they made up for this movie.
Still African.
No, this is new.
In what continent does this take place?
No. It's not based. No, they changed the story, so you're not. Oh my, you fucking absolute ding dong, dude. My African. I hate you so much.
Okay, go on. Keep playing.
I mean, though, based way of responding to criticism, to be fair. Here's the thing. No one's allowed to call Spoon racist because he's an African.
Hell yeah. And I'm a minority as well.
You're right. He's an African minority.
Will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike.
By the way, the main problem in this film, the conflict, is that the Wakandan civilization, which is a hyper advanced secret civilization of black people, is fighting against a hyper advanced secret civilization of Hispanic people.
I mean, the main thing that I thought was unrealistic is the fact that I saw black people in water.
Oh, Disavow.
What? I have seen Bernie Mac make that joke.
I know. I'm not gonna say it.
Like, legitimately, Bernie Mac said, like,
Domino.
white women go swimming, black people don't get in fucking water.
Well, it does. To be fair, it does fuck with their hair the way it doesn't fuck.
Yeah,
with
that was his joke.
It is true. I mean, it's just reality.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I'm sorry, I can't agree with a black person.
25 for 2 says they changed it to get around paying royalties. Yeah, probably.
Oh, isn't?
Yeah, like I do also think it is probably fair to be true about that, or fair to be honest about that bit, which is that like black people and white people's hair is different. That the things that we have to do to take care of our hair is a little bit different, and that is just reality. I don't know.
This is one of the nice things about not having any hair. As I don't have to do with any of that shit.
Oh, right, yeah, right. Here's the thing. We can all agree that maybe people have different ways of taking care of their hair. But Spoon is bald.
Yeah.
So...
Which makes swimming great, by the way. And also having no hair in the summer is the best feeling ever.
Fuck that shit. No, thank
you. No, you people can take your like hair flowing all you want. No hair in the summer. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, like having a
done on your scalp. Oh god, it's the best feeling ever.
My hair can paint with all the colors of the wind. There you go.
Yeah, in the winter it's kind of crap. It's cold. But summer, oh yeah, there's the guy smacking his chest.
Show them.
Yeah.
Who we are.
I will say there is one thing about this trailer that I actually still like.
You're ruining things that I love, though, Marvel. And then they straight up said that, like, yes, we intentionally want to ruin things that you like, so that we can try to sell them to other people. Well, thank you, assholes. I haven't watched a Marvel movie in the theaters in like 6 years for this reason. Fuck off. And I'm your primary demographic. Asshole.
White women?
I'm your primary... No, comic book reader.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think that was a demographic.
Spoon, I have a $100,000 comic book collection.
See, I said this before previously. This is the weird thing about myself and Aiden. She and I have politics in common and then nothing else.
I know, but that's
it's very, very
exactly.
weird.
That's why it's cool that, like, when we talk about politics, we can
she
agree
is
that we have
nerdy as holy shit,
interests.
and I'm a typical like metal.
No shit, and you like sport. Exactly. That's why we're good. That's why we're the best of besties. That you care about your sport ball, and I care about my nonsensical nerd shit. All right, let's get out of the nerd shit.
That's just I didn't really have a nerdy phase as a kid for like any of this kind of shit.
Any nerd interests?
Because
it's bizarre to me.
Because I was a kid growing up in South Africa.
Oh, I guess so.
The weather makes you go outside and climb trees and do monkey business. You generally speaking, you like being outside and play sport.
So you were the one doing the monkey business, I see.
Yeah. I like grunge, disavow. Who does not like grunge? Get the fuck out of my chat. Fuck out of here now. If you don't like grunge music, get the fuck out of my chat.
You and I do not align on our music taste either. That's
No,
the funny thing, like, again,
not
like,
at all.
You and I do not, but I can appreciate some of your music. I don't think
That's because my music is actually good.
No, that's called me being polite and nice and being willing to like be open-minded, and you being a big bumbus.
If I name my okay, let's see. Well, how the chat approves some of my favorite bands. Alice in Chains. No. Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Temple of the Dog, Mad Season, Ozzy, Zeppelin.
Yeah, good, like objectively good shit.
Yeah.
But then you won't even listen to my objectively bad shit and try to really give it a listen and figure out why it's good.
Repeat what you just said.
And then, trust me, these were very, very specifically chosen.
A black chick. I've never.
Said I chose my words carefully, sir.
Also, Alice in Chains is basically metal. Grunge is not cringe. Fuck off. I mean, the song Spoon Man is where I got my name from.
I know. Taylor Lorenz rips Elon Musk.
Okay, hold on. I have to address this. Dubstep is not better than grunge. That is insane. That is
even I would say it's an insane statement.
That is the most offensive thing that's ever been said in my chat by like a mile.
They said that just to trigger you, my dude.
That's insulting to me, you asshole.
That was just to trigger you.
That was just ever say that again.
Trigger you.
Also, Lemmy and I have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah, his birthday is Christmas Eve, same as mine.
Oh yeah,
his birthday.
That, yeah. Oh, I gotta get you something then. Oh shit.
A very, very hyped. There's a rum that I've been wanting to buy.
I'll get you a rum.
It's a very, very high proof rum, and by high proof I mean 75%.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's called Gunpowder Putnam rum. You know that Masters of Mob website? I saw it there, and it's like 42 pounds for like a 75 proof rum. Like what the dude?
Let me see if I can have that West Virginia whiskey sent or moonshine sent to you over there. We'll see for your birthday. See if you like
there
that,
you go, fellow metalhead. Yes, good man.
Warblade for 35 Zara says, what's the name of the money from
Rand.
South Africa again?
Like Ayn Rand.
Rand. I don't know why. I know I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. For 35 Rand says, false. I'm a full-fledged geek/nerd/otaku. Take your pick as an introvert, though I am a fellow metalhead.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. So there's South African fellow friend who does not agree with your incapacity to understand anyone else's hobbies. Spoon. Minnesota Fats for $5.
I felt that there was actual malice in that.
No, there actually
little
wasn't.
Bit, yeah.
Only a little. Because you gotta try to understand I try to understand your hobbies.
I understand if you don't, because you're a girl.
Yeah, I know. True. Disney/Marvel doesn't want comic fans boss. It wants the normies, but the normies aren't buying this tripe either. You're completely correct, Minnesota. Completely. Like they're just they just want anyone who doesn't have a brain cell functioning to buy this shit. That's all they got. They're desperately hoping that some idiot will buy this shit that they know nobody likes.
Is it this? No.
Hold
on. Okay, here it is. It's. I'll link this in the chat. This is the rum.
Oh, the rum I have.
Yeah, there's the link in chat if you guys want to check it out. This is meant to be a very.
I'm the one who knows who you are. Right? I really? You want this?
It's meant to be a very good rum, actually.
Okay, well, you and we gotta talk afterwards.
75%. Like I imagine like a teaspoon of this would fuck you up, and it might burn you. I mean, 75% is oof.
But
look, like Thomas just said, it's basically paint thinner.
If I get you this rum, you gotta try it on stream. If I get you this rum, you gotta try it. on stream.
I might cough a lot, like 75. The highest. Okay, I'll tell you guys a story. When I was in a bar, the last time I was in a bar, the highest proof whiskey I had was a 56% Redbreast 12. It was a cask strength. The normal whiskeys that I had.
Navy rum.
Yeah.
You've never had Navy rum before?
No.
Really?
Yeah. See, look.
This is your first time having Navy rum.
Yeah. Why? I'm a whiskey drinker. I don't usually drink rum. What's
yeah? It's Navy. As Bill said, Navy rum is any rum that's over a certain percentage of alcohol.
Yeah. So cask basically, and that was just alcoholic fire. Or like it was like burning alcoholic honey. That's the main thing I remember from that. So 75% is
you're new to this. I am fascinated that you're new to this.
Because I drink whiskey. That's my poison. Like like my highest whiskey that I would drink on average.
Chat.
Yeah, is the Arctic Ugadile.
What do we do, guys? What do we send Spoon to fuck his shit up? Now, okay. Oh, I don't know how much. Did I talk about this a couple days ago?
The idea of this is not to suggest to the chat ways to get me plowed.
No, I'd like to. I'm not gonna do that. That sounds sexual. But
no, plow, drunk, tossed off my face.
I think I did.
Smashed.
Yeah, I think I did describe how I accidentally bought. I bought a bottle of Brennivin, which is a delicious Icelandic,
Brannivin. That's Afrikaans for brandy.
Brennivin.
Yeah, Brannivin. Yeah, that's Afrikaans for brandy.
I don't.
It means
really?
burning wine.
I must not have said this back the other day. So, when I was in Iceland on the way into the U.S., I bought a liter or 1.5 liter of Brennivin, which is their liquor that is based off of anise, which is licorice.
Plowing me with alcohol sounds really weird.
And so I had a big bottle of their delicious black licorice liqueur that I brought home and I gave to my mom. And I thought, okay, I'll get another bottle on the way back. And I did. And I bought a bottle of Brennivin. I bought a bottle of something else that had a flower inside the bottle. And I was like, that looks really pretty. And then I'm a big, stupid fucking idiot because I was traveling over the course of the night and I was too sleepy. And I forgot that I left all my fucking liquor in the overhead cabinet in the plane. So I lost all of my things I was bringing back over. But Brennivin is delicious if you like licorice, I suppose. It's a really
what is it
liquor.
though?
It's licorice liquor. Its name is anise.
No, but what is the type of alcohol?
It's like 50%.
That's the proof. What is it?
Course. Oh no.
Is it vodka? Is it
100%.
gin?
No. The proof is 100%.
So it's basically ethanol.
It's hardcore shit. Yes.
So that's just pure ethanol.
Yeah. No. It's 50% alcohol, 100% proof.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So it's 50.
We usually
45
proof is an American thing.
45 to 90. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's not so
between
bad.
80 and 90%. Yeah, proof.
Yeah. That's not so bad.
And it's delicious though. And after you take it, you eat a slice of lemon. Very delicious. But it also
like tequila,
will fuck your shit up. Yeah, whatever. It's fantastic. I really enjoy the Brennivin, and I've wanted to try it for about 10 years. I finally get to try the Brennivin, and I've had a good time. And now I literally, like, a tear fell out of my eye when I realized that I had lost all the liquor that I had brought over from Iceland. And then the first thing I did when I got to London, when I realized it, is that I ordered more Icelandic liquor to come over here to Guernsey. So we'll have it soon. It's delicious.
Ah, yes, whiskey. I'm kind of annoyed. I looked at what was the price to ship whiskey over here on Masters of Malt, and the shipping price is like £56. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like it's
the
more than
problem.
twice the whiskey. I'm like, the shipping is like £60.
Yeah.
Pounds! Why are you charging me so much for
Yeah.
shipping? What the shit?
It's unbelievable.
My goodness,
Spoon.
it'll be easier for me to
Would you,
get in
like-
contact with some English people and then ship it to them and tell them to ship it to me.
Oh my god. Okay, can I tell the story about what's currently happening with my phone bill?
Didn't you say this before last time?
Did I? I forget.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I did. Basically that I'm being charged £4.2 thousand for not having any service for a month. And I've now talked to I've now been talking to the people at the, and the reality is because our current local phone service is controlled by Nigerians and Indians. There is no one in England who has any control over this phone bill. It's all Nigeria and India, as I found out. So, oh, they're a bunch of scammers, maybe.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Oh well. I do feel really bad because I'm talking to the people here locally, and you can tell that they're like super embarrassed by what's happening from this entire event, and that they don't know how, I understand that they would feel embarrassed,
Cognac
and I
is
don't
whiskey
want them
that
to feel
hates you.
embarrassed, but it's kind of messed up that they have to fucking go through this embarrassing bullshit because some Indian or Nigerian decided they wanted to try and scam a shit ton of money off of me, you know?
Ah, yes, that
not
is a
their
Nigerian
fault.
prince.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Mistake
Stupid
au revoir.
fucking- It's incredibly stupid. So I do feel bad about that. Would you like to read this Tale of the Wrens article?
Oh, yes. He has made Twitter a disaster. Really? Because it seems to me, from my perspective, Twitter is actually fun.
Taylor? Shall we watch her video?
By the way, I met a very strange person on Twitter earlier today.
Huh?
Yeah, this person said that Al Gore was president. This person said
Rant.
this person said Al Gore was president and then called me an inbred. It's very strange.
Wow.
I don't know how the hell. Yeah, I just said to them, "Are you actually American?" Because I don't believe for 1 second you are if you think Al Gore. Because I said to him, basically, because the Democrats have been complaining since Al Gore ran for president against Bush in 2000, and he just said, "Why would I care about 1948?" And I just said to him, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he said, "Al Gore was president before I was born." I went, "Al Gore was never president ever. So what the fuck are you talking about? Are you even American?" And has he responded?
Oh, real quick on the established titles thing, by the way, I did take an established titles. I did take money from them, I think like 2 years ago. They did offer me a new sponsorship. They were doing a giant push. And by the way, if you guys want to see some funny ass shit, they are spamming my email account right now. Trying to be like, can you please support us? Can you please?
Yeah, because
please. And it's like, no, you guys are up. Your shit's done, by the way. And I bought, well, when I got a thing from them, I said, hey, can you give it to my friend who was Scottish? And so I just gave it to my friend from Scotland. I didn't take a thing from them. So, but that was 2 years ago. I had no idea about I mean, like, I know some people are like, "Demand, you must face the punishment for you taking the." And it's like, okay, well, like, dude, I did this 2 years ago. Like, what do you want me to do? You know, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do anything. Like, because I do think about the Savage titles, and I think I have to say this. I always thought that they were a kind of like, oh, ha ha ha, it's a bit of a joke. The best thing that was possible is that you could get your passport changed or something, which would be awesome. But I didn't think anyone took it super seriously. But apparently people took it super, super seriously and wanted to involved in Scottish politics using the established titles thing. Well, I didn't think that was ever going to be something people were going to do, but apparently that was something that people started to do, and that's where this all came out from. So I don't know. Like I have no idea. By the way, I looked into their bullshit. It was fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I am really fucking sorry for promoting it. If people thought that they actually were going to become politically powerful in Scotland over owning a 5-foot piece of land, because that appears to be where the problem was, and that it wasn't just a gag gift. I don't know, and I haven't, and again, I haven't promoted it in over 2 years, so I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I am sorry if you bought an established. I don't feel particularly. Again, I have not given an advertisement for established titles in like 2 years, but I don't regret the advertisement I did.
Oh my god.
So.
China's TikTok is going fucking insane because of the protests.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, who is the guy?
Yes, no pants people. People actually apparently thought that they were like getting real political rights.
Political rights. I just thought it was the land.
And by the way, as I found out, there's an exact same, if you want to call it a scam, being run out of here right from Guernsey in Scotland. But it's being run out of the Channel Islands. So I don't know.
Who was the guy? His surname is something with a Z. He was on Chris's podcast on
Kizza,
Modern Wisdom.
I know you say always, I'm sorry, Kizza, you always say read super chats, but Kizza, I don't see the super chats that you say that you send, because they literally don't show up. So I can't, they do not show up. Oh, I'm sorry. A surprise Sunday stream. I wasn't invited. Oh, sorry, Kizza. Did I drop into another dimension and didn't know it? I demand answers. No, Kizza. This is just a random stream. Sorry. Sometimes a lot of things that you ask us, Kizza, like they just.
It was like a half an hour before we came on. I just said, Aiden, let's stream.
Yeah. Sorry.
It was impromptu.
Wait for 5 says, Spoon, my men's rugby club is 5-1 this season so far.
Base good.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, Kizza. I just thought like. Oh, so I was like, oh, I'm losing my mind. But it's okay. We got it. Thank you, Kizza. Thank you so much for your contribution.
The reason I say this... Hold on, I have to look up this guy. I can see his face. He did a podcast with Chris.
Spin, can you read this bit on
hold on, so just give me a second.
Lens?
Give me 2 seconds.
Let's play your stupid fucking face.
Peter Zayan, he said that in this decade China will collapse because of China's one policy several decades ago. Yeah, but he said because of China's policy, one-child policy decades ago, it does not have the numbers to keep their sustainable growth going. Yeah, it's gonna die.
Let's instead see what Taylor Lorenz has to say about Elon Musk on the BBC. Now, I would like people who don't know about Taylor Lorenz to know a couple things about her. Taylor Lorenz is a 45-year-old woman who likes to pretend that she is 20.
It was Peter Zayan.
She pretends that she's 20 years old.
Given
she loves TikTok and all of the things that the young people love, and that you should trust her as a young people correspondent.
Have you noticed something about that picture?
20 and definitely not 40. What picture?
Her face.
Oh.
Have you noticed something about the contrast?
Yeah, it's super contrasted out, so you can't see
all her wrinkles.
No, I can't see that.
Absolutely nothing about Elon Musk that's a free speech advocate. I mean, he's just notoriously been super anti-free speech over the years.
Oh no!
Really?
How dare he be a free speech advocate?
Also, if that was the case, nothing would change on Twitter, and you wouldn't be bitching about this.
Nope. No, it's just because this is the thing that's crazy about Twitter that I guess we should talk about tonight. Really,
he brings back Trump, and then you call him anti-free speech. Okay.
Here's what's happened over the last week and a half. The left cannot tolerate that they're not in charge of this particular platform anymore.
Yeah, because they will lose.
And they don't. No, and they don't have the infrastructure in place yet to be. I mean, they have Facebook, which here's what I think. Let me ask you if you think this is correct.
I'm 9 decibels louder than Aiden. No, it's just
when they go to Mastodon is full of people saying the N word and the F slur. They can't tolerate that. That will make them literally want to die and kill themselves because they can't tolerate any kind of. I mean, they're very, very emotionally weak.
Did you see what one of the Mastodon?
What do they do?
Did you see what one of the Mastodon moderators say?
The Mastodon moderator said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he said this is not Twitter. Please stop telling us to ban people because you're such a basically bitch.
Yeah,
which is beautiful.
So
like just block them, you fucking
they can't
bags.
Yeah, they can't get what they want on Mastodon. So they're crying and screaming on Mastodon. They can't get what they want on Twitter, which is to destroy everyone and silence everyone who disagrees with them.
Yeah, because they're miserable bunch of cunts.
Let's be clear about what this is. They say, "Oh, my free speech is beat. My free speech." No, your free speech is not being in any way limited. The problem
everybody else is
that you can't stand that everybody else is allowed to have free speech, and it's making you want to scream.
Yes, and everyone else wants to scream at you for being a little bitch about it.
Figure out. You got to figure out your shit. They're not able to, and it is so indicative of an endemic problem with the left, which is that the only way that they are able to survive is that if all speech is curated for them. They cannot survive by hearing things they don't like. It literally causes them psychological damage. And that's a very curious thing, but that's how it is, apparently. I wasn't really sure that was the case, but it clearly is.
Cracking down on speaks out against him. He's intimidated journalists, he's intimidated whistleblowers, and now you see him on Twitter.
The left doesn't do that.
He hasn't intimidated anybody.
How has he intimidated a journalist? Which one?
He's intimidated them by saying that he's going to let other people back onto the platform.
Oh yeah, that's very terrifying.
She considers that intimidation.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's threatening to their narrative, so yeah, that would be.
Yep, exactly.
Once again, just cracking down super hard on any sort of open expression and free speech.
Get the fuck out
by
of
that,
here!
Of course, and then of course she means not allowing her to get everyone she dislikes banned.
Someone in the chat, by the way, is being
her to personally destroy everyone else's free speech.
Someone in the chat is being very spicy.
Who?
Someone in the chat just said like Adam and Sitch's moderation of their Discord. I hear like
no, their Discord is fine. Come on now.
Just today, he said that any posts that were deemed negative, without even explaining what that means, would be throttled, and they would be basically impossible to find on Twitter. So
oh no! How terrible would it be if Twitter engaged in a secret algorithmic search thing, so that your violent tweets weren't put forward first?
Oh boo!
I mean, try to think about what it would be like. What would it be like if my tweets were openly hidden from the rest of the population, even when I wasn't saying something violent?
That sounds weird, what you just said.
Well, that would be really weird.
No, the phrase openly hidden. That sounds weird.
Yeah, it is true, right? It's true, right? But Taylor, everyone to the right of Mao for the last 4 years has had their messages openly disguised, hidden, and suppressed down by Twitter. You know this. You are admitting to it, which is weird, and then crying about it, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. And then Elon comes and just goes, you know what we should do?
Be like, why can't I have special treatment anymore? I'm a very special 40-year-old woman. Fuck yourself, you old bitch. Holy shit.
Also,
Spoon, I can't even imagine this mindset of I'm just better than everybody else. I need special treatment because I work for the New York, not even New York, I work for as an occasional reporter for the Washington Post.
I mean,
So I need the
just like the
entire world
fact
to
that Elon just
to
came
just
in and he basically removed all of the women from the
cry.
company. And oh my goodness, the company functions so much better without all the dead weight. It's like, huh. Yeah.
True, to be honest, women. What are they doing? Oh, I'm
What
a
she's
human
doing right now.
resources officer. Yeah, this is it. This is what women
Bitching.
do. They cry. They bitch. I'm a
Yeah.
human resources officer, and I cry about how I'm discriminated against.
Do you want to make a successful company? Don't hire women.
Hire me, so I can sue you.
I mean, if that's the attitude towards women, you're making a good advocacy for why you shouldn't hire women.
That's the real fucking shit, though. You hire a woman, and she goes, "Thanks for hiring me. Now I can sue you for things that I don't like." Women. Oh my god. Fucking the. Greetings from Kazakhstan. I hate women so much, it's unreal.
He will really go to insane lengths to silence people and to kind of get them to shut up.
Why do you talk like a valley girl? He will like go to like so many lengths just to like, I don't know, like silence people. Yeah, that's Elon's face when he looks at all their tweets.
Dude, I'm actually let me have. I need some more vocal fry. I haven't had anything to eat tonight. Can I have some vocal fries?
That's how every drunk chick sounds in a Hollywood movie.
Excuse me. I'd like more vocal.
Or Lindsay Lohan when she's had too much coke.
The vocal fry thing absolutely drives me nuts. By the way, I cannot tolerate the vocal fry thing. Vocal fry. I tell me, tell it around.
You just sound drunk when you do that.
How I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you about how I'm extremely intelligent and how I'm really a big smart woman.
Or what does this say? Like Loren, did not pull her punches right out of the gate. She started well. It's an absolute disaster, as you mentioned. No, it isn't, by the way. It's great, by the way. You know how Elon has basically alienated the vast majority of the company, telling everyone that unless they basically click a last link and agree to be hardcore, they were going to be out of a job. Yeah, that's kind of how a company works. Oh my god, I just inherited a giant shit show with a load of useless fucking people, and I'm hemorrhaging money. Obviously. How do I solve this dilemma? I know, let's fire everyone who isn't fucking useful.
Well,
welcome to how a business works, you stupid bitch.
Well, exactly, but like Elon is completely correct in his way of handling this.
What, just firing everyone that's shit? Like, yeah, that's how any company works.
Yes, obviously. I agree.
Are you an engineer? Yes. Are you useful? Yes, you'll have a job. Are you useless and you do absolutely nothing but cost me money?
Yes. Is your job some kind of vague, can you even... What I would say if I was Elon is, can you describe what your job is in 3 words? And if they can't, then they should go. Because the people like Taylor Lorenz are like, I'm a like
That's because most of them, their job title is piss people off.
Like, I'm actually like a journalistic, like public relations and actually like social justice manager of. And then they have these giant goddamn.
Oh god, social justice manager. That is probably most of their job description.
Oh, I'm saying that's what I mean. The people who, if you can't describe what you do in 2 or 3 words, your job isn't real. Sorry.
An overbearing dictator running the show.
I
saw video.
If you cannot describe what your job is in 2 or 3 words, you're not real. Your job's not real. Go ahead. Sorry, Spin.
It was we did a video where, do you remember a while ago Elon said there's going to be a content council?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that's not going to be a thing.
Oh really?
Yes, which means there's only one person who's running the company and moderation team, and that is Elon himself. Which basically means that Elon is the absolute monarch of Twitter.
Base.
Which I'm very much in favor of. Like, just like, no, I don't want your gay council. I don't want anyone consolidated. I don't want an oligarchy. I want one guy and one guy only running the show. Because I don't trust the rest of you twats. I trust him because he's the only one that has sense. Fuck your council. Fuck your little group.
Yeah.
Give me the absolute monarch. Give me the CEO. I want him. It's a good experiment for how you properly... Yeah, King Elon, basically. He's the one guy running the show, and he doesn't take your shit. You offended the gay council. Well, the gay council doesn't exist, so they can eat a dick. Well, they probably would because they're gay. Yeah, no,
The host is
I'm
mentioned.
happy. I'm happy that
I
he's
agree
the
with
only
you.
one running. Yeah.
Very base.
Yeah. Free speech advocate, good, yeah. A notion that the Washington Post column is disputed, of course, because you're not allowing me to say what I
No
want to
shit.
say, therefore you're gay. Lauren's reply that there is absolutely nothing about Elon Musk that's a free speech advocate. Well, I can say things, and I saw someone say the F word on there earlier today in a meme. So I'm like, okay, well, if you can say that, that's pretty good. To lie about Washington Post, oh yeah, I like Elon Musk, Charles. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. Conservative journalist Ian Musk. I like the way he's just called a conservative.
Yeah.
Basically, anyone that disagrees with him is basically
He
a fucking
is.
conservative at this point.
Emo Song is a conservative. That's just
Is he?
correct.
He just sounds like a libertarian bass boy.
I think he's conservative.
He's from Malaysia, isn't he? She never stops lying.
Malaysia
Well,
or
she is
Indonesia.
female.
I can't recall which.
I could
Sorry, guys, if you recall where Emo
I
Song
think
is
it's.
from.
I think it's
He's a
Malaysian.
really cool guy to me. He's done some things that people dislike, but he's always been very nice to me. So
Yeah, he's been cool, and I think Elon follows him as well. There's a good back and forth between you. Let's see.
and the
BBC.
Columbia Bugle they also follow me. I think.
I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah, they follow me. Yeah.
Scroll down, please.
January.
Public conservative account, Clement Bogle tweeted, that would be hilarious if Musk sued her into the oblivion. Yes, it would. It would be funny.
It would be funny, yeah? I know.
Autocrat, please, he's an industrialist. At this point, he's basically Mr. House.
Yes, so let's talk about this particular bit.
The
that's
South
in
African
the
Empire.
thumbnail. This tweet from
yes.
Carl Benjamin, which I think both you and I have opinions on.
This is the weirdest thing I've seen Sargon say in a very, very long time. Let me ask the chat. If you were to take a random person on the street and they told you those things are their policy positions for either the state or the country, where would you put them on the political spectrum?
I think that there are some things that are very sensible centrist beliefs, and there are some things that are a little nutty. And I say this as a right winger, not a centrist, right?
Because if you,
I don't mean that they are positions that I'm saying that some of the positions that he's holding are too right wing. Furious Dan for 5 Canadian says Twitter, make Twitter 4chan again. If only, yeah. But some of the stuff he's saying here is a little bit too right wing, even for my taste. And I feel, and he keeps saying, no, this is center, this is centrist. This
yeah,
is
because
centrism,
if you scroll down, he basically says anyone that thinks this is right wing is like left wing. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Sargon?
He's been at it now for like.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just trolling.
like,
I hope he is.
I don't know either. He's saying this is the ultimate center position.
Yes.
And
now hold on a sec. Go back there. Go back down. He said, "At the moment, we live under a far left." Yeah, holding that one there. Presently, we live under a far left extremist regime in which immigration is unlimited. National decisions are made on a global scale. Welfare is skyrocketing. Woke ideology puts on children. People ask, "This would be far right." Okay, scroll down. Let me see that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's scroll down a bit more. this Andreas Lidstrom guy. Yeah, hold on. Up a little bit. It's right under Sargon's. I swear to God, woman. No, scroll down.
I'm literally trying to read.
Scroll down. A little bit. Yeah, right there. Oh my God, I'm going to kill you. Just above Stephen Brown. Just above Stephen Brown. Yeah, right there. Stop. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
no.
There you go.
Yeah. Deporting all foreigners. Yes. Reinstating a monarchy. Very based. No social safety net. Wild West unregulated market capitalist. Strict behavior laws regarding gender and marriage, etc. Deference to authority of tradition over truth over fact. I don't agree with that last one.
And he's saying this to be far right, but like.
Yeah, but no, like.
I know. Yes, it is right wing, but. Sargon, your positions, I have to say, are...
Those are all conservative or right.
Okay. They're all conservative, but they're also very silly when you don't have the way of backing them up.
No. I don't mean in that sense. I mean, if you took all of these policies, right? Those are not centrist. Those are right wing. What I don't like is the position. Hold on, I'm still talking here, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ, woman. I don't like that if you take all these positions and say that you can make them further right, this would make these things centrist. That's bullshit. These are all right-wing positions. Argument? I don't know, but that is the way it comes off. Like, I spoke to V about this, and he said you can make these things further right, but that does not mean that where you start from, this means this is centrist. No, this is right-wing, but you can make it further right.
Irritated. I'm getting very fucking irritated with... you and I both need to talk about this a little bit, I guess. Why do people who are clearly more right-wing or conservative obsessed with trying to portray themselves as centrists? You're not. And Carl hasn't actually done this for years, but all of a sudden he's back here being like, here's my centrist philosophy. Despite that, on the Lotus Eaters, he's totally abandoned such a self-descriptor. So I'm sorry, like on the Lotus Eaters, you said you're done describing yourself as a centrist, and now you're back on Twitter being like, here's my centrist political ideology. First of all, centrism doesn't exist. It's inherently a nonsensical point of view because centrism is relative.
Yeah.
Centrism is always relative as to where the normative philosophy of the public lies. Okay?
Now, see, now...
There can be no something as centrism. It doesn't exist. It's a falsity. It's a fabrication of your fucking imagination.
The thing of it is, if you go back to the previous list that he had, like, these would be far right, with the reinstitution of the monarchy and go back to tradition, right? That would be very far right compared to what England has now. That would be considered like the polar opposite of what they have now. So if you contrast that with what he has now, this would seem like the center compared to the two policies of what England has now and the one from the Swedish guy here. Now, hold on. But I still do not think that calling that the center between the far left and the far right position makes it the center. It just makes it the center in this little scenario. But there's no way in shit what you're staring at is right, is in the center. Like, no, this is right wing. Everything on this list is right wing. I don't care what Sargon says. Everything. All this is right wing.
What? And I think that one of the things that you and I that you and I both went kind of like woo on was the no legal immigration. That's not necessarily a good idea, I would say. I'm a legal immigrant because
Patricia's in the chat is like screaming at her right now. It's like, no.
I'm sure, but I'm a legal immigrant to the United Kingdom, and I'm a monarchist. Like, you don't. There's nobody who's more like pro Crown and pro UK than me. So this whole no legal immigration when I've gone through the entire process is a little bit silly, Sargon. So that's the one that really kind of bothers me. And you're also a legal immigrant to the United Kingdom, having been born in South Africa. Yeah?
Yeah. But like,
so
but these
don't
things,
like that part.
These things, none of like, could you get anyone lefty to agree with any of this?
No, of course
No,
not.
exactly.
But that no legal immigration, that one is a really big fuck up. That's a very wrong thing to say.
Well, reducing it to zero. Well, I think he means in the context of England right now. And in the context of England right now, that would make sense.
Yeah,
like no new people.
No, though, because there are people who want to come to England and be English. Or be citizens of the crown, be subjects. Yeah. And I want to be a subject of the crown. I am a subject of the crown. I have chosen to do that.
I'm aware of academic agents.
I like. Do you want me to do you want me to abandon my American citizenship? It's a kind of a big ask. But if that is what's required, I would be willing to do so. To abscond from my American citizenship to be a permanent subject of the crown. And that's because it's where I've lived for the last 4 years, But like, this is, I don't think this is a correct way of framing things.
Also,
personally, you know?
I want to know some of these things. Like, for example, reducing illegal immigrants to zero. That's pretty fucking right wing. And you can say they can go further
Everything
right.
here is like not just like it's
Yeah.
not centrism. It's just these
Yeah,
are
it's right wing. Yes,
pretty
abolishing hate speech laws.
explicitly right wing.
That's right wing. But
They're so right wing that
the
they're
fourth
even
one,
too right for me.
the
you
fourth
know?
one is interesting when he says purging wokeness from institutions. How are you
What
going
does
to go
that
about
mean?
doing that?
Yeah, what does that mean, and how do you do it?
Because this is why I think this is interesting. If you were to take any country, and for me, left wing to right wing is left wing is collectivist, right wing is anarchy. The further you move away towards less state, or the further you move
In
towards
terms
more
of
state.
pure libertarianism, yes.
Yes.
But right wing does have its own. The right wing does have its
Yeah.
own totalitarian side of it.
Yeah.
You should accept that and understand that that's correct. And
Yeah, but
something that
that's a
exists.
tyrannical monarch as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Well, yes,
But
I agree.
yeah, but the thing is, if I look at this, I have to ask myself, if you look at the one thing that all libertarians will say is the defense of the nation is key. That's the one thing libertarians will agree with, is that you need defense of the nation. That's like one of the only things I think the state should actually do is defend the people.
Yes,
But then
that is literally the only point of the state is to defend the people. That is the only point, in my perspective of government, the only point of the state, and therefore the only actions of the state should be to defend it from external force.
Yes. Now
Any internal force is always totalitarian and always deleterious.
But now there's the interesting question now. Because if you look at those last four, purging workers from instance, restoring the death penalty for severe crimes, promoting family values, reducing the welfare state. 3 of those is going to require intervention by the state in some capacity.
Reducing the welfare state is reducing the power of the state, and I agree with that, because the state should have less power inherent.
Yes, but the thing of it is, purging wokeness from institutions, that's going to require state intervention. You're not going to do that voluntarily.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't believe in any state. I don't believe the state should do anything.
Yeah, but here's
my perspective is that the state should do nothing other than protect the state from external intervention.
Yeah, but here's the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider wokeness a threat?
Yes, and therefore, though...
Yes, and therefore, the state, by that logic, according to libertarian values, the state must intervene and purge these fuckers.
No, it shouldn't.
Why?
No.
You don't consider that the defense of the nation?
I'm put in a very...
This is why it's interesting.
I know, I am placed into a very difficult position here, right? As a libertarian.
I go full fucking Pinochet.
I know, I am placed into a very difficult position here as a libertarian, because I don't want the state to have one iota of power more under a democratic system. Now, if we have a monarchic system, we can start to talk about it. But under the current democratic system, I do not like this, because the democratic system seems to be designed. It is not a defect. It is a function. It is a feature of the democratic system to inherently consume more and more power. And by that nature, I do not believe that it is in the best interest of the human population to give more and more power to any democratic system. Because any democratic system that receives more and more power will inherently become more and more despotic. It will become more and more greedy for power. And that is why I do not appreciate any of this shit. And why I would rather have a monarchic leader where the roles are clearly laid out. And by the way, you can't, if you want to be like despotic as a monarch, you can, but you'll get fucking killed. So that won't work. I think that we would be in better hands if we were in the hands of a single individual leader who is not going to be willing to give in to the whims and wills and fancies
of the morons
of people who are ultimately fucking morons. And I know that sounds really frustrating to people who want to give their positions and think they're going to vote, but realize that voting ultimately does
Leads to
almost fucking
morons.
nothing. Ultimately, voting is pointless.
Also,
You're still voting for you're still voting. Excuse me. You're still voting for some member of the oligarchy. You're voting for some people who have already immense institutional power, who are going to use that power to enslave you.
also,
Enslavement is the worst thing that can happen, but it is what happens inherent when we have either democratic or monarchic systems. All systems of government, all of them, outside of pure anarchic systems, result in the tyranny of the individual. So my position is, how do we reduce tyranny over the individual? And in my opinion, it is the monarchic system, but I can understand why people would disagree.
Also, Bear Lemon said, if you're a libertarian, you cannot be a monarchist. Those are two different things. Au contraire, if you're a libertarian, you will only be a monarchist. Because democracy is not compatible with libertarianism at all.
Here's the thing, my dude, is that like when you start looking at these things in more complex assessment of things, as I have over the last many years, you will understand that the only way to be a true libertarian, and if you want to protect the individual liberty of people, you must understand that although it's a cool idea for anarcho-capitalist pure systems to exist, they cannot protect themselves. Therefore, how do we protect anarcho-capitalism? How do we protect libertarianism to allow it to exist, to allow free enterprise to exist? The only way that we can allow true free enterprise to exist is under some other protective umbrella of politics. That being said, the monarchy is the best way to protect under their umbrella of protection and under their umbrella of not wanting to fuck shit up. That is the best way to protect libertarianism.
This is also why democracies are shit, and also why republics fail. No offense, America, I know you people cling to your constitution like it's your genitals, but it really is not that much of an impressive document. And I know I'm going to piss off a lot of Americans by saying that, but if you look at your document, you can say it's a very impressive document, and you can abide by the document all you want, but if the people you elect to the government does not give a flying fuck about the Constitution, as many of them clearly don't, your document really isn't all that special. You need people in power to agree with it. Like, if you look at America right now, like, be honest with me, Americans. Look at your first two parts of the US Constitution, your first two amendments, the First and Second Amendment. How many of you guys can honestly say, hand on heart, every last one of your politicians agree with the First Amendment? The answer is no fucking way in hell. Second Amendment, there's not a damn politician in the United States who goes by shall not be infringed. Those are the two most American things I can think of, is free speech and guns.
No one listens to that shit. No one actually listens to the actual libertarian values that are important to be maintained here, right? We don't see any respect of the libertarian values. And I say this as a libertarian, so like...
Yeah, none. Yeah, there we go.
I often get asked the question, is that how can you be a monarchist while being a libertarian? Well, to me, it's quite simple. I would like to have my libertarian values respected and maintained. And the only way that I can see that as being possible is if they're maintained by a government that is consistent. Because under a democratic system, some other people can vote my
rights away,
rights out of existence.
Yeah, that is the weirdest thing to me about people who are libertarian. Like, oh, what is less libertarian than having other people decide shit for you? That goes against the very purpose against libertarianism. Like,
sorry, no, my right to own my firearms, my right to be able to say what the fuck I want, my right to be able to do what the fuck I want. All of this is the problem with the Libertarian Party in the United States, is that they are all just hoping people will be nice to them and give them essentially like a bone, throw them a bone. That shouldn't be how it is. Your rights should be inherent. They should not be dependent on who's in charge. This is a problem. Now, I think this is a problem with democracy, but
more so than the monarchy, yeah.
the monarchy would not. The monarchy could decide to destroy people's rights, but how has that worked?
And also, what would be their incentive to do so?
Right. Why would the monarchy be incentivized? Why would a king be incentivized to intentionally destroy his people's rights? There's if we're talking about a current new monarchic system.
I could be a complete despot and then just massacre my own citizens. What would they get me?
That's despotism, though.
Yes, but like, why would I do that?
Because you're a crazy person, and that's the thing that you and I deal with all the time, is that people think that anyone who would be a monarch would inherently be crazy, but or that you and I would want to be the monarch, which you and I have described at length as neither of us would want to be, because neither of us have any desire for that horrible level of responsibility, right?
Yeah.
So
also Martin in the chat said, "What's wrong with Sargon's post?" There's nothing wrong with it. We agree with all the policies. We just think the fact that it's called centrism is kind of weird.
Again, this is why we wrote this post up, is that Spoon and I agree with everything Sargon says here.
Yeah.
But we don't think it's centrism.
Yeah.
That's where I think we have the
you can say
confusion.
it's a center point between the far right position and the far left. But that doesn't
only
make it
at this
center.
position in this temporal position, because
Yes.
the far left is extreme communism at this point.
Yes.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Everything that Sargon has said here is a right-leaning position.
Yes.
I have to use the bathroom. I will be right back. Bye. Hang on.
Because if I were to look at the reason I wanted to do this, because I thought it was interesting, because it becomes a point of how would you get these things done in a democracy or a constitutional republic, whatever the fuck. And the answer is you're not going to. Like, especially reducing the welfare state. There's no fucking way in hell there is any political incentive to reduce the welfare state. Not when you have fucking Democrats, because that's their fucking voting base. So there's no way in shit you're going to get that. If you want to get rid of the welfare state, regime change, monarchy. There's no way in fuck you're going to do that. Promoting family values. The best way to do that is through taxation. Is incentivize people to get married, have kids, tax breaks. And fucking get rid of the welfare state. That would be the other reason one. Restoring the death penalty for severe crimes. Well, Sargon said he was not a fan of the death penalty, and then he saw how many nonces were around. And I'm like, very, very based. I think it's probably the most like comment on that fucking thread. It's true. Purging wokeness from the institutions. You're going to need a monarch for that. You're going to need some absolute power to purge the universities. Because there's all of this is going to require regime change. Maintaining national sovereignty, well, that's fucking hard right-wing as shit. The purging the wokeness from, that'll require a lot of state power, whether people want to admit it or not. And this is the thing. When people say, libertarians especially say, it becomes a question of what do you define as defense of the nation, like maintaining national sovereignty. If wokeness is code for globalism, then it is absolutely in the interest of your state, through libertarian values, to butcher the shit out of everyone in your universities that advocates for this crap. It is legit. It would be, by law, it would also be moral according to libertarian philosophy. I don't consider that a bad thing. It's just that it just becomes a case. It's a very American thing of, we do not want the state to do X because we believe in sovereignty of the individual and not having state power and the typical constitutional crap. No offense, Americans, but like you live in La La Land where you want people to be independent and you don't want the state to do certain things, but you also don't want there to be some kind of overbody authority overlooking at certain things, but you still wanted to maintain sovereignty on an individual level while still allowing the individuals to do whatever the fuck they want and destroy it. And then you come at a point where you go, we have more problems than we know what to deal with. And then when people don't have the individual agency to engage in certain activities that would make these things not defenseless like it is now, then people go, there's no fucking way in hell. The individuals are far too lazy. There's no incentive for them to change the system, so people look towards the state to fucking do something about it. And that's where people eventually look towards the monarchy, is to say that, well, we need some centralized authority to take care of this. But the Americans frown upon this because the Americans think this is not something that we want to do because of our constitution, and we don't want the federal government to have too much power, yada, 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 which I think is a shit argument, by the way, because, like, well, if you don't get the central authority to do something, the main thing that I hate conservatives for is to say, we don't want the central government or any kind of centralized authority to do X, because if we do, then if the other side were to get power, then they might do something bad. Like, but if you don't fucking do anything, they're going to do it anyway. So what is your counterbalancing argument? Like, you don't have one.
It's a strange hostage situation, right?
Yes.
Of, oh, we would hate if this happened because it would be terrible if that happened.
Yeah.
So please don't do it.
Yeah, and they always cuck.
And you're begging the other side to not do the thing that is extremely immoral. And they do it. Please don't engage in voting behaviors and doing this vote ballot harvesting and stuff like that. Please don't do that. Please don't lie to people.
Yeah, this is like the one thing I strongly disagree with Styx on.
What?
As he said, the ballot harvesting is like the ring of Sauron. And it is. It is like the One Ring. But the thing is, until you get your states to stop doing that, you are not going to outlaw the ballot harvesting, because they win with this. So there's no fucking incentive for them to stop doing it.
No, so they'll never stop doing it. And that's the thing, is that you have to, like, I have all of these data that I've just been over in my research.
Wait, Dev said America needs a monitor to come in and purge American Congress of shenanigans? Really?
No way. No way. No way. No way.
Where the fuck did Dev say this? That is the most base thing Dev has ever said.
Very based. It's based as fuck. But here's the thing.
He did say something like that when he was on stream with us, though.
I know. I know.
He's not wrong, though. Is that you need a central power. The idea that to fear central power is an extremely American perspective.
Well, otherwise people will just go, I'll just vote for some dumbass shit, and it often is. Literally, they're going to give me a cupcake if I vote for this person, and I come back out and I say I voted for the Democrat, they give me a cupcake. That is literally what's happening. It's so much shit. And then they also get told constant fucking lies in the media apparatus about how the right wing wants to literally kill them. I've told you all this shit before, but I watched it happen to my best friend, who was not a fucking idiot, who, when I came back home after a while to visit her when I was in grad school, she, first of all, had become transgender, because of course, had become transgender, and had become convinced that any and all conservatives, all they wanted to do was fucking murder her. And I told her, like, my best friend, Spoon.
Oh, your maniac one, yeah.
Well, yeah, but
the one who cut off her boobs.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, as an example.
Which is offensive, by the way. She had big boobs.
Just became fucking convinced, because she just listens to the mainstream meteor, and they told her, oh, well, Republicans want to kill you, and she heard that every single, and it was unbelievable. This is not 7 years ago, by the way. Was absolutely convinced that Republicans just wanted to fucking kill her. Are there any Republicans, I think, who are convinced that Democrats want to kill them? Maybe fuck with them and do weird shit. But no, the entire Democrat apparatus has created this paradigm of making up a fictional version of reality, where if you don't vote for us, the other side is literally going to kill you. And that's the side that we're forced to fight against. And when people hear that stuff, they're incapable of thinking outside of it, because they're thinking out of life and self-preservation narratives. They're incapable of thinking as to literally anything else. Nothing else makes sense if you're asking them about preserving their own life. They go, I must preserve my own life, because if I don't, I'm XYZ Zim Zim Zer, and I'm doing that because that's how, I get attention and affection from people. And if I don't vote for the Democrats, then Republicans will come and kill me for being a Zim Zim Zer. This has all been intentional. And by the way, if you look at Herbert Marcuse and how he wanted to bring about his great communist utopia, this is all completely in line with it. The entire program being enacted in real time right in front of our faces. Oh well. Sorry. It's horrifying though, yeah?
A bit. Do you feel better now?
No, not really. But I don't think that Sargon's wrong about the centrism thing. I think it's just poorly phrased. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's poorly phrased. I just okay. Well, the logo is wrong. And I like Sargon, but I read that and I went, "You call this centrist, my boy? Like this is not centrist, my friend.
This is not centrism. No, it's not.
No, I can see when he said that it's centrism compared to what the guy said is far right. But
Yeah.
I looked at the far right position. I'm like, I don't actually mind any of those things. Like returning to a monarchy, like great.
Yeah, I feel like Sargon is stuck, and I mean this in the most
I think he
kind
means
way.
I think he means pragmatic.
He as many people similar to
Like
him.
there we go. Like scroll
where-
down, see that meme?
Yeah, I have it on the screen now. Where he thinks that there's only like two sides then, and centrism is the best. But he's not centrist. He's conservative. He's right wing,
Yes.
and he has to accept that. He really has to stop calling it centrism. You're a right wing conservative. It's okay. Don't be embarrassed by why are you so what I don't get this. It's like he's just so embarrassed by being a right wing conservative that he has to redefine what centrism is. Stop saying that.
I think he just means centrist compared to what would be far right.
Okay, well, centrism is of course always a relative position.
Yeah. And I don't. Yeah, it's maybe centrist between the two positions listed there, but I don't consider any of those things to be centrist. Those are all right wing positions.
These are all right wing positions. I don't understand why he's saying this shit. Kanye West, however, is not fucking around. Announced
Yes, he
his
is.
2024 presidential. Yeah, maybe he is. Announced his 2024 presidential bid amid far right ties. Declaration comes amid Adidas investigation and fashion.
Kanye
brands
West is channeling that
dropping
Yakubian power. I like how Kanye is suddenly far right. I thought that was a white thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Dropping the rapper over anti-Semitic comments. The disgraced rapper and designer formerly known as Kanye West.
That's sugar bumps. Also, hold on, kids are sorry. They said, Aiden Spoon, this is why human rights model is the only solution to the current problems and can only be enforced by an absolute monarch. Yeah, I actually agree with that.
And I know Kissa also said that, Aiden, what have I told you about using the term conservative when you really mean anti-leftist? I don't care about using people's terminology, Kissa. I'm sorry.
Also, hold on. There's 20 euro by Twisted Friends. Thank you. This is why I don't like social medias like Twitter when your thoughts are written down with zero elements of human tone, facial expression, mannerisms. You can't gauge if someone is being serious or trolling. Yeah. And what Alkissa said, Aiden in the UK had over 10 million immigrants in the last 25 years. They would never ask this question. 90% wouldn't qualify under my standards. I don't think they would qualify under most people's standards because you're just looking at like a rampant.
No.
Yeah.
No. Would you mind reading this? I'm gonna go grab a drink because I am out of.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Just keep it there.
I got it. There you go.
Yeah. See, the disgrace rep. He's not disgraced.
No.
He's goofy as fuck, and in many ways, I think Kanye is horribly wrong with everything that is, or he's an avatar for everything that is wrong with modern day society. And designer formerly known as Kanye West, he's still known as Kanye West. Like, fucking, who you think you are, a prince, motherfucker? Has said he plans to do a future for president 2024 amid a series of anti-Semitic tirades and new far-right associations. I don't think he became far-right and then were like, I'm going to run for president. Like, that's not the sequence of events here, but okay. The declaration of his candidacy, which referenced several political figures and aides associated with U.S. white supremacist and anti-democracy movements. No, they're not, but okay, whatever. It would make him the second person to enter the race after Donald Trump. A day earlier, the sportswear giant Adidas announced that it was launching an investigation into allegations he harassed former employees. I wonder why they're doing that now. A Rolling Stone magazine report claims by Adidas employees working on the rapper's Yeezy shoe line that he used porn, bullying, and mind games to create a toxic environment at the company. I mean, most people on Twitter would just call that an average day. The revelations itself followed several fashion brands, including Adidas, Gap, and Balenciaga, I'm probably butchering that, dropped a 45-year-old star over anti-Semitic comments he made online, including that he would go DEFCON 300 people. Oh, and just still funny. That comment after he wore controversial White Lives Matter. That's controversial to only you pricks. Everyone else is like, okay, it's Kanye being Kanye. A t-shirt during a Paris Fashion Week triggered mass condemnation of the rapper, and he dropped by banker JP Morgan. His talent agency CAAA Lawyers Record Company year later said that he lost $2 billion in one day. Yeah, it's funny. Jews don't control anything. Criticize the Jews and then the Jews cancel you. It's like, yeah, that's not at all proving their point. Very uncomfortable. Yeah. Let's see. Twitter and Instagram temporarily locked these accounts. Yeah. Kanye went on Fox News, Tucker Carlson tonight, and made further inflammatory comments, this time on his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, the pop star Lizzo. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's fair to have a go at zoo animals, Kanye, but okay. He told former CNN anchor Chris Cromer that his anti-Semitic comment was not hate speech. This is the truth. I mean, you can't say, oh, Kanye's wrong, and then he loses $2 billion in a day. That's like, yeah, fuck that. I mean, the only reason we don't say that is because, well, if we criticize these people, you're instantly a Nazi. It's like, can I just criticize someone and not want to instantly genocide them? Is that possible? No, you can't do that. His faltering efforts to distance himself from the remarks were further undermined by anti-Semitic demonstrators who further his race. Oh God. The thing is, you're not helping his case by saying he's wrong. Like, if all you're doing is you're just saying he's an asshole and you're not disputing anything he's saying, you anyone who has something against the Jews, you're gonna make them worse because you're not disputing anything Kanye's saying. You're just telling him to shut up and canceling him. That's gonna amplify the situation because anyone with sense is gonna go, yeah. So, and no, this wasn't supposed to be about Twitter stuff. I just had a whole bunch of things I wanted to talk about. This was one of them. Because if Aiden comes back, I don't know if you guys saw, but Kanye released a video talking about some stuff on his 2024 run, which I think were all bullshit, by the way. Because I saw the video and I went, yeah, no. Just no, I don't. Hold on, see if I can pull this up. Fuck, give me a second. This might. Democracy's on the ballot. No, democracy's not on the ballot. Shut your face. Oh God, I hate when it does this. Why don't you show this, you asshole? Why are you doing this to me? Aiden.
Hello?
I can hear myself in the background. Scroll down.
Yeah?
Hold on.
Sorry, I had to go.
It was the fact that I walked in there with the... Can you pull up the video, by the way? Have you not seen the video?
What video? Did you hear any of the gay ass shit I said to Bill when I was downstairs?
No. Have you seen the Kanye video, by the way, that he released?
No. No.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No. What is it?
Hold on.
Itte mitai. Mitte mitai. I'm so glad you didn't hear me go downstairs and tell Bill about how much of a big gay I am.
That kind of goes without saying. Is Kanye banned from Twitter? Why the hell can't I see him?
Yeah, he is.
Oh. Is he? No, he's not.
I thought he was. Huh? 本当でしょ? 本当に? 素晴らしいでしょ?
Is Kanye seriously banned from Twitter?
素敵だね. What? No, I thought he was banned. Oh wow.
No, here he is. No, yeah, here you go.
Well, that is, as they say,
Here
koi.
you go. Pull this up.
Oh, Musk unbanned him. Oh yeah. I did see this post. Okay.
Yeah, watch that, and I want to see what you.
Don't call me a weeb.
I mean, you're a bit of a weeb.
God has stepped in. Ye is the only figure who can figure out and influence Trump.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
To
I
be
did
my
see
vice
this, yeah.
president. I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact that I walked in with intelligence. So Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes...
I don't know why.
You're also assuming he's correct, and he's in full of shit.
Yeah, look, Fuentes has his own stuff that he's working on. He's working on hunting down... Look, Nick Fuentes has his own very, precise interest politically. And that is
I
getting
thought
a
you meant
black
like
light.
assholes.
No, it's getting a black light and looking for semen inside his own house, on socks, on couches, on beds.
I don't know how that's politically motivated.
He's what we call a cum hunter.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Fuentes, he's preoccupied with his cum hunting. So I don't know why Trump would be interested in that. But Fuentes, he's on his cum hunt. And I wish him the best of lust in his cum hunt.
Unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist. When he didn't know what the lawyers is, you'll still have your lawyer list. And when all the lawyers said, forget it, Trump's done, there are loyalists running up in the White House, right? And my question would be, why, when you had the chance, did you not free the January 6ers? And I came to him as someone who loves Trump.
Good question, Kanye, by the way.
I don't actually think he had the capacity because he wasn't in office anymore.
No, later he didn't, but he could have. Well, I guess, yeah, he didn't really have any capacity to do anything about that, did he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the timeline seems to me kind of weird.
So, yeah,
so
you're correct.
Keep going.
Get Corey back. Go and get these people that the media tried to cancel and told you to step away from. He basically gives me this would-be mob-esque kind of story. Talking to some kid from the south side of Chicago trying to sound mobby or whatever. He goes into the story about all that he went through to get Alice Johnson out of jail and how he didn't do it for Kim, but he did it for me. But then he goes on to say that Kim is a you can tell her I said.
Well, Kim is that. Whatever he said. I don't know what he said.
Disgusting.
But Kim is that. Kim is that thing. Yeah.
That. And I was thinking like
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian is gross.
Yay, why the fuck did I know she's hot? I know she's got a big old booty. Well, I know, but like he fucking got with this woman who was clearly a whore. I'm just saying. Who had no desire for anything but his money.
Fucking a rapper.
Yes.
That is literally the only thing that she is famous for.
Kanye, you fucked
a slut.
And had children with her.
Yes.
And now she won't let you see your children. You should have predicted that would happen.
Yes.
Because that's what happens when you fuck a whore.
She is not in any way an impressive human specimen.
No. And Kanye, I think, is an intelligent guy, but you should have known.
Kanye is out of his fucking mind.
I don't think so. I think Kanye is a smart guy. He should never have fucked Kim, though.
Yeah, this is where you and I disagree.
She's just a fucking slut. Don't fuck sluts. Don't put your dick in that kind of
shit. No. You can fuck sluts, just don't get one pregnant. That's a different story.
Don't marry them,
Yeah.
Marry them and give them all your money, which is what he did. God damn,
that's
dude.
Thing to do.
But no, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It should be that if you marry a woman, that it should be, that should be a serious commitment. And it shouldn't be that marriage is a thing that only is negative towards males. I find that absolutely repulsive and repugnant that we live in a world where marriage is existentially bad towards males when it shouldn't be that way. It should be the way that we ensure that...
That's how society collapses.
Yes, no shit. We should make sure that men and women stay together.
Yes, but
raise
women are
children.
above. Women are below men.
Women are
Men
given, yes,
Women are below men and should always be that case. You can
I
disagree
agree.
with that, but men are your superior. That's just fact of reality.
Well, you know I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
Of course, yes, because you're a based female.
Well, like,
This is
even
where you
though...
say thank you, by the way.
Yeah, whatever. Look, hey, I can say that, like, that we should have a hierarchy, but then also still say that women should be able to call you a fucking
Asshole.
dipshit or whatever, an asshole.
Yeah, no. I said this before in a video that men are like the horse and women are the rider, and it's a woman's job to ride the horse. As weird as that sounds, and it's your job to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Yes,
bigger
exactly.
Than you. He's bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you. His job is to carry you, but he also needs care, affection, and occasionally to run around to feel like an idiot.
Because yes, I actually think that's a fair descriptor, because
Thank you.
Without any kind of control, men will run wild, right?
Yes.
They'll run off. They'll fuck anything that fucking walks. You know what I mean? Not all of them, but that is why
that's how they're hardwired.
That's why society was invented and evolved within humans. And yes, it is so that you have the female who does, as you say, and I think that's not an incorrect allegory, and that we drive the male to go, come this way, come that way, to try and orient his inherent
job is to build and
masculine,
provide,
his inherent masculine energy, because men have this like just insane amounts of masculine energy that has to go somewhere. They have to find some way to expend it. So women are the ones who get to figure out how that gets expended, by the way.
Yeah, that's
I think that is absolutely true. Women are the ones who get to figure out how men expend their energy. I think that
usually
is
by
absolutely
providing for
correct.
the woman.
Yes, because they want sex. I mean, I was saying why monarchy doesn't work. No, this is why monarchy does work.
How are you explaining why a monarchy doesn't work? What the fuck are you talking? This is why monarchy does work. That's like the epitome of why monarchy works. Because the monarchy is the father of the nation. It's a very masculine. Democracy is extremely feminine and cringe and gay.
Democracy excludes the masculine.
Yes.
Monarchy.
It's almost exclusively patriarchal.
Monarchy highlights the masculine, the patriarchy, while also not excluding the importance of the feminine. The mother is always important in the system. You cannot have men without women, obviously. And I think, again, you made a very interesting, visual metaphor there, that the woman drives the man to a certain degree of how, where do you want society to go? But the man cannot be driven entirely by the feminine motive, because the feminine is often driving him off a cliff.
Yeah.
So you have to have, so yes, the feminine can drive the masculine, but the masculine must always ultimately determine the direction of society, because the feminine will often make really, really, really bad decisions based on pure emotions. Because
and that's why women don't make good leaders.
No, women. There are some rare exceptions. There are rare exceptions. Yeah. You have Catherine the Great. You have excellent female leaders throughout history. You do, but they are the exceptions, not the rule.
Also, something if you look at Queen Victoria, she said something
Queen
interesting.
Victoria.
She said something very interesting. She said that the position of power in the public sphere, while she is a queen, she thinks that the royals are the exception, not the norm. They're not to be emulated. She said that the public sphere is masculine and the domestic sphere is feminine. And the two shall not mix, and a man's job is to be in the public sphere. And she even said, as far as like the royal family goes, because she keeps in touch with the other royals in Europe, but she also said that the women are obsessed with equality, and if you were to equal the sexes, feminists would just be horribly ugly creatures that would no doubt need the protection of men.
Queen Victoria was super fucking based on the feminist question.
She did not like the suffragettes at all.
No, but she couldn't stand that. But actually, Queen Victoria's point there is extremely accurate and correct. That when you talk about a overarching structure, both
they need to be kept separate.
But both sides are required. The masculine and the feminine are both inherent parts of the structure of human societal organization. You cannot have the feminine without the masculine, and vice versa. But in terms of who should be in charge
Yeah.
is father, always.
Yeah.
Mother, however, also has an
Papa.
important Mother, however, also has an important role to play in all societal function. You cannot also have a society without mother. They are, we are a
the birth givers.
we are a dyadic species, but it's not just because like, and this is not like, this is this thing of like, oh, so you want to put us into some kind of like Handmaid's Tale, Margaret Atwood shit? No, not in the least. So what a weird thing for you to think.
I mean, you can if you want to.
No,
I mean, if they want to live that kind of life, they can.
no, but motherhood is a necessary part of
Being a woman.
the functional human society.
Oh,
There
yeah, of
must
course.
be, it cannot just be father and isolate. It must be mother as well. It cannot just, I mean, father is important, but mother must be involved. The problem with the Western democracies is that they replaced father with mother
state.
instead of understanding that both must work in collaboration with one another, that it must be liberty, which is the female, and patriarchy, which is the male. These two must work together in tandem. They cannot be isolate. It must be, liberty with the patriarch working in tandem. I believe. I think that is the actual necessary nature and natural structure of human society. It's patriarchy with liberty.
And also the idea that women becoming more economic independent is somehow better for them, I think, is a move sold to them by industrialists.
Yes, but I'm talking about in a pure abstract, right? In the pure abstract, it must be because liberty is, oh, I love you, my son, and go out and go into the world and figure out your shit for yourself. Stuff that mom does, right? So when you fall and scrape your knee, mom is there to say it's okay. You did a thing. You explored the world, and it's okay.
Dad's the
and
one
I'm
that
here
says
for
smack
you.
you and says don't cry.
And dad is there and says, smacks you and says, don't cry.
Yeah.
Both sides are necessary for the development of the human psyche. So,
I did, though. I have vague memories of busting my arms and knees. Like, Mom, I am bleeding profusely. Can you do something about this? Not crying there. But as soon as like that dab of alcohol comes, like, pain.
Well, right. I'm
like the fall is fucking nothing, and as soon as you put like burn, even now if I scrape my knee, like that same pain will still come out. Like I won't cry, obviously, but I still go like fuck, burning.
Right, but that's why the political structure of humanity should follow and should reflect the structure of the human social group. Which, in my opinion, should be
the natural order.
The natural order, which should be that mother is there. That's liberty. That's freedom. That's Helvetia. That's Lady Liberty, who is there to provide you with the comfort that you need and give you rights, which are your rights.
That's what men provide.
They're there to provide you with the comfort of rights, I should say.
I don't agree that liberty is female. Female seeks security.
Liberty is absolutely female.
No, liberty is absolutely male.
I disagree. I think liberty is a female. I think liberty is a female aspect.
Seeking security is a female trait because security can only be provided by men.
But because
women seek security,
but here's the thing.
Men seek freedom.
Yes, but liberty can only exist if protected by the masculine.
Yes, but women don't seek freedom. Men seek freedom.
No. Freedom and liberty are different things.
How so?
Liberty and freedom are separate devices. In that liberty is the right to do kind of whatever you want, but liberty can't exist without an overarching patriarchal structure that protects the right to engage in liberty.
How's that different from freedom?
I think that freedom is a psychological aspect. Freedom is within the psyche.
Yeah, Aiden, you're not going to win this. Just stop now.
No.
Bail. No one is going to agree with you on this, honey.
Why would
everyone's like, no, liberty is male.
I think liberty is feminine and freedom is masculine.
This is a bad hill to die on.
I'm not dying on it. This is just a proposal.
You are
It's
if I'm
just
gonna
a
get
proposal.
fucking done with you.
It's just a proposal. I think freedom is masculine, liberty is feminine.
I don't see the distinction of difference.
You don't see the distinction between liberty and freedom.
No, I don't. I think it's the same thing.
Liberty cannot exist without freedom.
Uh,
Freedom is what is provided. Liberty is the expression of freedom provided by the masculine. Does that make sense?
no.
Liberty is the expression of freedom, but freedom is only allowed for by the masculine impetus.
What?
Listen, I'm in a philosophical mood today. I was watching a video earlier today where someone described the psychosocial ludens, the psychosocial ludens.
It could be because it's late, but I'm like, what?
the psychosocial ludens of the metaphysical gameplay. I was watching someone talk about a video game, and they said psychosocial ludens of the metaphysic, and I was like, that actually makes sense. So maybe I'm in a weird mood. I don't know. Yes, the psychosexual ludens meta narrative.
Someone said you're not making sense out to me.
Oh yeah, Luden. Ludo means of play. They were talking about a video game, so Ludens or Ludo of play.
She didn't call me impotent. I'm not worried about her.
I didn't call you impotent. I think we're trying to describe. We're trying to better define the masculine, the feminine, and how these two very. You need both, by the way.
Yes, because they each have a function.
Yes, it cannot. The people who are like pure, like fuck all, just fuck women, like ignore all the feminine. That's also incorrect. The human species and all is designed to have both interplay with each other, but there is a natural order, and the monarchistic order is the naturalistic order of human society.
Yeah, Kizza said the monarch is the king and the head of state. The queen is the heart of the state.
I would agree with that. Yeah. The
in
queen
technical
is able
sense,
to provide
yes.
You do have that kind of function where the king has to make the hard decisions. The queen can make the soft decisions, right? Of pardoning people. That's what Queen Elizabeth did, of course. She was an excellent, an excellent queen in that way.
Yeah, but I still think the absolute ruler would be different because, like, she still has to go through Parliament. She is a bit more of a figurehead, but
I think
there still is an element of guarding the nation as a figurehead. It still has its symbolic value as a nation.
I think if you were to ask some of the early advocates for the parliamentary system, they would be disgusted by what they find now.
Oh God, yes, they would be.
Yeah. So same thing with the founding fathers of the United States, who also again couldn't decide if it was correct to have a monarch in the United States or if it was better to have a republican system.
Yeah, a republic if you can keep it. And the answer is no, they can't. Because the republic did not last very long before it got centralized. Because the Articles of Confederation was a disastrously bad government.
And don't like what's the island they all met on? We talked about this the other day. I always forget the name of it.
The island they met on?
That island that they all talked about where they basically consolidated all power within the state. It was under Wilson, I believe. You know what I'm talking about, where they went to some CIA island in the 1920s and consolidated basically all federal power.
When was this?
Yeah, Scrump has a couple of videos on it. I've talked to you about this.
Have you?
Yeah. You must see
Jekyll
this.
Island, apparently.
Jekyll Island, that's it, thank you.
Yeah.
1917, yes. They all met and consolidated all federal power within
the Federal
United
Reserve,
States.
yeah, there we go. Yeah, the Federal Reserve was
established the Federal Reserve, which is, the Federal Reserve is one of the greatest violations of human rights that has ever existed in the United States. It is a giant violation of everything within the Constitution. Thank you, whoever said that. But yes, sorry because I'm smoking a cigarette. But yeah, like the Jekyll Island stuff, you must look into how your rights as an American citizen were absolutely decimated. And I mean that, decimated, destroyed to 1/10 of their original fucking power. The true meaning of the word decimate. in the Jekyll Island Accords, what people decided there was that they were going to turn the United States from its supposed republicanism system into a system where it was an oligarchical monarchy, but with no actual clear line of power. Clear line of power. It was not obvious. It would not be obvious and evident to the people where the power was coming from, and that's the true issue. There is that at least in a monarchy, you know where the power system is derived from, but in the democratic Republican system, even in the Republican system, which I know that our founding fathers devised specifically to avoid and try and mitigate harm and abuse of thinking, well, of course, because anyone who's not absolutely fucking pants on head knows that democracy is a horrible system of government. It is mob rule. So they developed the Republican democratic system based on both the Roman and Greek systems to try and find a
balance,
middle ground between the two. But unfortunately, and yes, it is a fantastic idea, but as of 1917, at the Jekyll Island Accords, that's over. It's been over for 100 years. There's been no real freedom within the American democratic system, and there's been no real representative democracy.
Yes, the Federal Reserve. Terrible move.
Fuck the Federal Reserve.
I think so much of the worst, basically, actions of the world, as far as America is concerned, is the result of Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, I think you can make
he is hands down, he is the worst American president.
Yeah, I'd agree with
He
that.
was an arrogant fucking asshole. And he also destroyed the country. And put it in so much fucking debt. If you look at the amount of debt the Americans had prior to the First World War,
in debt
at the end of the First World War, Jesus fucking
he
Christ.
Intentionally created us as a country dependent on debt. And one thing that I found insane is when I talk to some people about that, they say, "Oh, what's wrong with debt?" And they'll say, "Oh, we just pretend it is. We're in power, so we can just not pay that." Excuse me? No, you do have to pay it. Excuse me, you don't have. Well, you in power don't have to pay it. The American people have to pay for it. Pay for the nonsense of the American government.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to assume that people won't. That
$30
there's no actual
trillion.
price. That is translated. That just doesn't eviscerate and go away into the ether because the American government is so holy and sacred. No, people still have to pay for that. So the $30 trillion in debt that the United States is in, which the debt calculator
is never going to get paid, by the way.
No, but it doesn't mean that it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a kind of weird aside.
Yeah, Lincoln was a pretty bad president. He was not exactly a big fan of free speech.
I think Lincoln had.
Oh, Moody
really
Mother is
good
here. Holy
intent.
crap! What's up, Moody?
Hey, I think Lincoln had really good intent. I think Lincoln had really good intent.
So does every
and I don't
despot.
I know, but I don't think Lincoln could have had any. I don't think Lincoln could have possibly comprehended how his actions in trying to restore the unity of the country, which in his mind, and I can understand why it would be good in his mind, to unify the American government after a massive schism, would lead to what we have now, which is the massive overreach of the federal government.
Oh, that too, yeah.
I don't think he could have possibly understood when he did those things. Out of an attempt to heal the nation, would result in the federal government becoming such a massive overreaching force. So I don't think it's fair to. I don't think it's fair. My father blames Lincoln, but I don't think you can. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair.
5 worst U.S. presidents. Let me see. Wilson, FDR.
Yep.
Biden.
I would put
Biden, Carter, Obama.
Carter's a complete mistake, and I think you can put Lincoln in there, but only because of an accident. I don't think he could have understood the longitudinal reach of his decisions.
I would put Carter ahead of LBJ just because of damage. Economic damage.
LBJ. Okay, if we're choosing 5, LBJ goes before Lincoln. Lincoln's error was ultimately far more longitudinally deleterious and harmful to the state of the nation, and that does make Lincoln, I guess, a worse president in that sense. But in terms of direct harm, LBJ and Carter, far worse. direct harm.
If I was
Lincoln's harm was indirect.
If I was gonna go for like long lasting damage, I would go Wilson, FDR, LBJ, top 3 worst.
It's unfortunate
Easily.
because it's very difficult to even criticize Lincoln because it's been reframed as if you criticize Lincoln, it means you must be pro-slavery. No,
Lincoln is godlike. He's on Mount Rushmore, for God's sakes.
Yeah, well, unfortunate thing about that whole thing with Lincoln is that, yes, slavery is a most vile, disgusting, and incomprehensibly evil system that I would never in a billion years have any support for. Unfortunately, slavery still exists all over the world right now. It is only in the West under the British, I would say, system, because the British were the first people to stop ending slavery. It was under the British system that we first got any kind of philosophical positions that slavery was vile, and it is, of course, to revoke people's rights to self-determination is about the most evil thing you can do. I would say, in my personal opinion, to revoke one's rights to individual liberty. That is about as evil as it gets.
No, Nixon was one of your better presidents. Nixon was not one of the worst.
I've been listening to a bunch of Hermetic philosophy, so I'm in a little bit of
the petrodollar was not a wise move, but Nixon told the intelligentsia to go fuck themselves, which is always a good thing you want in your president. I'm not a fan of the EPA. That was not a wise move.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
no,
but that was created on his administration.
Any expansion of the federal government is antithetical to the ideas of Jefferson and Washington and Hamilton and many of the other founding fathers, or those in that same era of trying to found the American system. However, it has become endemic to the American system that we're supposed to give up our rights to the federal government. And that is absolutely repugnant and antithetical to the proposals of the founders. So, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I agree. The problem with the petrodollar, but I would say the horrors of going off the petrodollar, the massive spending that resulted in the creation of the petrodollar, was not Nixon. That was the fault of LBJ. LBJ was the one who
fucking sociopath.
Yeah,
I don't know who was crazy. He's just an idiot. He's an absolute fucking political moron who had no idea what the fuck he was doing in any form.
I find it funny that
the number
people
of things
look at
that
him.
you can draw back to LBJ as being absolute nightmares that have caused permanent
Vietnam War spending.
scariological damage to the United States citizenry.
Yeah, the Great Society programs.
Yes, how about the mental health society program?
Human Rights Acts, they were not very good.
Horrible shit that, yes, sounded good on paper, but have caused so much deleterious harm to people of every
Voting
race
Rights
and
Act,
creed.
which was fucking terrible.
Every race and creed in the United States. LBJ was an absolute fucking monster in what he did, whether on purpose or on accident. It has been.
I'll have these
truly
voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Yep. Yeah,
and he's a quarter of the way there already.
Spoon can't say the word because of what LBJ said was the N-word there. I will have these N-words voting Democrat for the next 100 years. That is a direct quote from Lyndon B. Johnson. Okay?
And he's not wrong.
Well, it's worked so far.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you keep telling them, hey, look, the reason your life is shit is because of racist white people, said a racist white dude.
Yes, a very racist white dude. And yeah,
quite ironic.
It is it's ironic, but it's also horrifyingly correct. It was, redlining and things like that have kept Black people largely down in the system are largely a product of LBJ.
I would say, as far as state expansion and intervention goes, the worst president for that is FDR.
FDR is way worse than LBJ.
Yeah,
but
FDR's expansion of the federal government was fucking atrociously bad.
Yes, bro.
Closest thing America came to dictatorship was FDR.
FDR is the American dictator.
Yes.
And if you don't know about how that Franklin Delano Roosevelt was an American dictator.
The New Deal was basically FDR's dictatorship.
The New Deal is directly a dictatorial system of provisions. Just, sorry, we got a little bit off track there. I got a little bit off on my.
Yeah, because somebody asked
monarchy
the worst presidents.
Yeah. Instead,
I should read more about Hamilton because Molbug says that Hamilton was America's first monarch.
I do agree with that, probably.
Yeah, because he said that Washington was the man steering the ship, but the man who was really the brains behind the operation was Alexander Hamilton.
The basic question that we have to ask is that you and I think debate constantly, is how do we protect liberty, right? I don't think freedom and liberty are the same thing, as I said earlier. So how do we protect liberty? And I think how we protect liberty is not within a democratic system, because I think that democratic systems inherently move towards reducing liberty.
Yeah, but like the thing is that you've had your founding father, like Jefferson said this: the growth of government, liberty yields. You've had philosophers for hundreds of years that says democracy is shit. Every time it's been tried, it ends up in tyranny. And you saw how quickly the entire states of the world, the so-called free democracies of the West, were able to emulate China at the drop of a fucking hat. Why? Because the states are huge. And the thing that I find so funny about the Americans is I think one idea, the idea of a single ruler with absolute power terrifies them. But then you see the size of your fucking government and you're like, that doesn't terrify you? One person in charge to you is scary, but like this enormous fucking thing that costs billions, if not trillions of dollars to keep afloat every fucking year, that costs a shitload of your money, that somehow scares you. Like, I don't see how.
Right. What I wanted to say is to reiterate when you asked me the question of why I thought women were generally the more indicators of liberty versus freedom. Freedom is an internal construct. It's an individualist construct. Liberty is a communal construct. Liberty involves the liberty of all involved in a society, whereas freedom is an individualism. So you can have someone who is very free individualistically, and I'm not reaching. I'm talking about. I'm talking about classic philosophy. I am not reaching. I'm talking about classic philosophy. Reread Eric von Kuhnert-Lenin, and I know that he will agree with me on this. I mean, he's dead, but he talks about this specifically, that freedom is individualism and liberty is more collectivistic. So, of course, the feminine is more liberty valenced and freedom is more masculine valenced. Does that make sense?
I would say this because people are saying... the thing that I find most confusing about the Americans, whether or not they will admit this, they have a massive fear of centralized power. Because the way the American model is built is that each state can govern itself because we don't want to give enough power to the federal government. And I think the reason why the Americans think that is because the federal government fucking sucks.
Sorry if I'm not making sense again, guys. I see that people in the chat like I'm not making sense. Don't worry about it. Maybe it doesn't make... Give me a week, and I haven't thought about this in a minute. But I will make sense of the nonsensical thing that I'm saying. Anywho, and because I haven't talked about freedom versus liberty, it's the entire focus of Eric von Kuhnert-Lenin's book, Liberty versus Equality. He also talks about liberty versus freedom. That's his entire thesis. Anyway, and let's look at this article. GOP has to get behind Ukraine in order to defeat Putin.
Oh God, this is going to piss me off.
Kevin McCarthy.
I like Douglas Murray, but on foreign policy, Douglas Murray is like, God damn, he's...
Yeah, I thought we should get back into some real politics here. I like Douglas Murray a lot as well.
On culture values, but on foreign policy, dear fucking God, he's a fucking neocon shit.
Wiggles, liberty is not freedom. They are two distinct concepts. And
I disagree.
I think, no. I disagree with you. So let's, how about on Wednesday, we do our regular stream. We will have a little bit of a discussion of what is liberty versus what is freedom, because I think that they're actually they are two unique and distinct concepts.
You're going to bore the chat and me.
Well, okay, we'll do it at the end after whatever we talk about it.
Oh, well, I'm half asleep anyway.
You freef. All right. So
You want to call me the F word, don't you?
I called you a freef. Yes, I did. A freef.
Faggio.
What is happening to the Republicans? There was a time only a decade ago when the Republican Party was full of war hawks. A bit too full, actually. And you want them back,
Yeah.
Douglas? Do you want them back, Douglas?
Yeah, it is kind of. Oh,
Okay.
oh! Apparently, this is going to split the chat.
No.
No.
It's not- I'm not
The liberty
meant to
versus freedom
split-
thing.
No, I'm not trying to split chat over the liberty versus freedom thing. I do think that they are different things, and I'll bring more. Look, I don't have that much evidence right now off the top of my head because I just don't have it. My brain's full of the research I just finished conducting, and not full of this philosophical stuff. I also spent all last night listening to esoteric hermetic literature, which is my new thing of. Oh, can I ask you about this real quick before we get into this? A bit of an aside. This is my last aside. When I was listening to hermetic literature, I realized, because my whole life I've always thought I was kind of a fucking idiot. And then I'm listening to this review of hermetic literature. What's the video? What's the book? Hang on. I was listening to a book being read, and I went, "Oh shit, maybe I'm not as stupid as I thought I was." Where was it? Where is it? I was listening to it all last night. I don't know where it went.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I was listening to this massive book on hermetic magic book. You don't know about hermetic magic and stuff like that? Not the Kabbalah.
Oh.
I can't. It was this massive book I was.
I'm
listening
not
to.
very smart, Aiden.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, not really. I just have a nice voice.
Oh, I was on the wrong account. Okay, hang on. Okay, here it is. It's Manly P. Hall's esoteric occult audiobook, Secret Teachings of All Things. That's the name of the book. Secret Teachings of All Ages. Excuse me. I was listening to this book last night, and I was kind of shocked that I was able to understand it because I thought this is the name of the book. Yeah, Hermes Trismegistus, of course. But Secret Teachings of All Ages. This is a really fascinating book that I think was published, 1928. It is a fascinating commentary on Hermeticism, on philosophy, on the ancient world in general. And I found this to be absolutely a fascinating listen. I listened to the first quarter of it, but very interesting stuff. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not too stupid to understand this. I was impressed by my own capacity to understand this book. Anyway, I'm not saying it makes me smart. I think that I was just like, oh shit, I'm able to understand this way too advanced literature, something I would think was way too advanced for me. And I was like, I can follow. This is a really interesting book, and if you're interested in Hermetic philosophy, I would highly suggest also checking out that book The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Yes, it is Diogenes, the book, by the way. It is not just about Diogenes, but he does seemingly have a bit of a proclivity towards Diogenes' perspective in it, I would say. Sorry. I feel like at some point you get so tired of looking at real world philosophy that you have to go back to the Greeks and just be like, what the fuck were they thinking about? You know? Seriously. I get so... real world politics is so fucking infuriating. You have
and
to try
really
to
boring at times.
And you have to try to figure out what the fuck is actually going on with the human psyche and the human experience. And I think the Greeks, sometimes they really got into there and they dug into what was maybe actually maybe really going on with human psychology. And
yeah, you'll be amazed at what you can learn when you don't have a smartphone and internet.
Yeah, go read this book or listen to somebody talk about this book. And I agree, El de Gusto, that Diogenes is way cooler than Socrates. Very, very based, correct position. Anywho, let's get back. After my aside there about how modern politics is cringe and lame and gay and not very good at expanding your mind, let's talk about modern politics. There was a time only a decade ago when the Republican Party was full of war hawks, a bit too full, actually. After 9/11, it became a point of patriotism to be behind the American military actions around the world. Well, you're doing that still now on the Democrat side. So, okay, Douglas, are you being intentionally obtuse or politically and historically ignorant? Because I don't know which one's correct.
Yep.
The part of the burden of being a superpower was that America also had to police the world. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. And many people don't like the fact that America polices the world because they suck at it.
In fact, it has no right to do so.
And also, it's also really incompetent. America hasn't won a world war since the Second World War.
But please explain to me, Douglas, why it is that America has the right. Why does America have the moral authority over the rest of the world?
It doesn't.
I don't understand this. No one can explain it to me.
Yeah.
Spoon, I've been asking people over and over, why does America have the moral authority to police the rest of the world? And I can't get a straight fucking answer.
Because my democracy or some stupid shit.
Well, there's democracies all over the world. Then under that paradigm, shouldn't the British Empire come back to control the world?
Oh,
they're also a democracy.
Yeah.
They're also a democracy.
I'd prefer that, actually.
Should we bring back, how about the Dutch? The Dutch massive control over the world.
Yes.
You'd like that one better.
Yeah.
Fucking Dutchwood. Windmill tilting clog botherer.
Shut up, you sheep shagger.
I love you too. That period didn't end well. In fact, a correction was overdue. The failure of state building in Iraq and Afghanistan needed to be followed by a period of reflection.
And do you know what that reflection needed to be?
To stop trying to control the fucking world?
That too,
and
but also
engage in liberal hegemony?
Yeah, also we suck at nation building, don't fucking do it.
Mm-hmm. Because nation building is nonsense.
Yeah, and America sucks at it.
It is a bizarre reframing of divine right. Is it not?
A little bit, yeah.
It is.
We have the biggest gun in the room, therefore we are supposed to be using it. With live rounds. I don't fucking know why. I
mean, the entire... I'm sorry, what was it called? The divine right to colonize was the... wasn't it the casus belli? What was it called where it was like, it was our right? Someone in the chat knows, I'm sure, but my brain's not working on this right now. The divine right for America to conquer or for the American government controlled by white Europeans to...
It sounds like the...
take control of all the rest of the United States.
It sounds like the Monroe
as their
Doctrine.
divine right. As their divine right.
It sounds like the Monroe Doctrine.
It was partially the mandate of heaven. It's part of it, Elliot Femont, but that's not the exact term I'm looking for. There's another term for it specifically, where it was just like, this is... Maybe that was it. But we just have this mandate. Manifest destiny. Thank you, Dead Kulaks. Thank you, Dead Kulaks, for telling me, reminding me of Manifest Destiny.
Yeah, but that was the westward expansion. Like if you
was
said
a westward
to me,
expansion, but it was implied
to
to be universal across why the United States should have this right. And I feel like why would the United States have this right? Is that it is being used in the exact same goddamn fucking way, manifest destiny, as it was for the westward expansion of the United States, as it is in things like Ukraine, because it is our manifest destiny to spread democracy,
even though democracy
all over the
sucks
world.
off.
And same thing it was the same goddamn moral rationale we used for Vietnam, was it not? It was our manifest destiny.
I don't think it read communism.
Reminding me of that phrase because I could not remember the terminology. But it seems to be consistent, does it not?
Yeah, it's also cringe and gay.
It is cringe and gay. Yet that is something that seems to be brewing in the current Republican Party and over a war which no U.S. soldier is fighting in.
I think you would
want them to be fighting in, Douglas?
I would be really, really happy with an America that decides to go into isolationism.
I refer, of course, to the war in Ukraine, which I just got back from seeing. Douglas,
you didn't
why
see
should the U.S. be involved? Yes, and what did they show you? They gave you a fucking little North Korean style tour where they put you in a thing and they little trolley
have
and showed
seen
you what they
things,
wanted to
therefore I
see.
know the battle plans. Like, no.
Yeah, I don't trust that. There are
Yeah.
many criticisms that people on the right and left can make of the Ukrainian government. Oh, gee, where do I start? About corruption in the country and more. Yeah. Well, why do you just brush that off with one sentence?
Yep.
And Douglas,
He
you're an
doesn't.
incredibly...
He doesn't actually give any criticism.
Dr. Murray, you're such an intelligent person. This is why I dislike when you engage in this kind of simplistic interpretation of events. It is reductionist. But when Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine earlier this year, he did something completely unacceptable. I agree. He sent his tanks into a sovereign country. I don't know if Ukraine was really sovereign.
It was not.
I think that Ukraine has been a United States
since the 2014
puppet
Euromaidan.
since the Euromaidan. Now, that is my opinion. It's my opinion based on not just a bunch of evidence, but the philosophical and very mature, I would say, positions of a lot of political scientists, like such as who's the guy who we always cite on this one?
Oh, Mulbach.
Not Mulbach.
What?
The U.S.
What, George Kennan?
Political scientist. Kennan for sure would be one, but
political scientist
who did the big speech about Ukraine that I've cited a bunch of times.
Oh, Professor Mearsheimer.
Mearsheimer, yeah. I would say Mearsheimer, and who
Chris
has been studying
Hedges,
this,
and Chomsky, and a bunch of Marxist professors.
It's
Henry
left and
Kissinger,
right.
for God's sake.
Everyone has told you this. Everybody from every side of the fucking debate has told you that that the United States has owned Ukraine as a puppet since the 2014 Euromaidan.
Yeah.
Sorry. All under a false claim that it was denazifying the government of Volodymyr Zelensky.
Even though
it was one of those Jewish Nazis you hear so much about.
Even though there is actually the evidence that America has funded these people that are at the Avos Battalion.
Dr. Murray, you are being so fucking
I don't think
here.
I don't think he's a doctor.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Douglas Murray is definitely a doctor.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not. He's just.
I thought for sure he was.
He's just an author and a scholar. He's not a doctor. He's a commentator and an author.
Alma mater, Oxford. Where is his? I swear to God, he was Christopher Hitchens. I swear to God, he has a doctorate. He's not. Oh, I take back everything nice I've ever said. Just kidding. I thought he was a professor. Never mind. No, I'm just joking. I was trying to be polite, but
and also sending tanks into a foreign country to overthrow its leadership. Yeah, because it's not like the Americans have ever done that.
No, never. Putin's entire war is a war crime.
So was yours, by the way, in Iraq.
All wars are war crimes, dingus.
Yeah.
Dude, this is the stupidest fucking... Okay, it doesn't matter whether or not he's a doctor or not. I would have told you that exact same response to that same goddamn sentence. Putin's war is a war crime? Yeah, it's called being...
At war.
A war.
Yeah.
That's one of the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
His armies have committed atrocities. So is the Ukrainian one, by the way. We just don't talk about it because of the West.
You don't talk about
his whole war is an atrocity. Nothing about it can be excused. Actually, there's a fair things about this can be excused, but you're never going to listen to Putin's side. Nothing Putin has done is for any noble reason. That depends on who you ask. I think defending his nation against clear Western aggression is probably noble.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's the key operative point, right? Which is that
Western aggression.
It does Western political aggression count as aggression? I think it does.
Yeah, I would agree so as well.
I mean, the U.S. has just spent the last 5 fucking years calling Russia an existential threat
to democracy and the entire nation.
To democracy, and that that Russia fixed the 2016 election.
Yeah.
8 years now. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and also you were funneling weapons into Ukraine. Why?
Yeah.
What do you
Money
get out of
and
this?
weapons, and also using Ukraine as your personal piggy bank in the case of now President Joe Biden and his family using Ukraine as a personal piggy bank.
Yeah.
Anywho, entire war a crime. Putin's entire war is a war crime. It's not just his armies have been committing atrocities. The entire war is an atrocity. Nothing about it can be excused. Nothing Putin has done is noble for any reason. Not saying it's noble, saying there's rationales.
Yeah.
Not saying that rationales make them justified, nor make them good, nor make any expression of violence good. People
But it
are
helps
dying.
explain them.
There is never any good maybe some good excuses, maybe a couple times. But war is hell for a reason. I'm not trying to justify Putin's fucking war. I'm saying there's reasons why it happened. And anyone who is telling you to ignore the reasons why it's happening is lying to you and is trying to sell you some bullshit.
Yep, which Douglas Murray's doing in this article.
Yeah. Of course, the world's democracies, there's that word, had to take a stance on this. By the way, Russia's a democracy.
Yeah.
And they don't like that. They like to exclude them. Are they corrupt? Absolutely. What? There's a bunch of corrupt democracies all over the world, my dude.
To be fair, in at least in Russia, they can count the ballots quicker than they can the Americas.
Sure thing. Of course, the world's leading democracy could not just sit idly by. I thought we were a republic. I guess not, were we, Douglas? To give them credit, the Biden admin realized that they quite rightly didn't want to put American boots on the ground. No, Douglas. That's because the Biden administration has a bunch of money involved in all this.
Yep.
That's why. Trust me. If he didn't have money involved in this, he'd love to put American boots on the ground.
Or if you wanted in a recession.
Oh, no. Trust me. War is very, very good for the economy. The reason why Biden doesn't want to go to war in this case is because of his direct involvement with so much of the Ukrainian government.
It would also be very, very unpopular.
No, I think it might not be unpopular. I think
it would actually be unpopular with quite a number of people.
Yes, with a number of people, but I think there's a bunch of research about no. There's a ton of research on this. It would actually be very popular amongst Democrats because they would think that, we're going over and defending democracy. As long as Spoon, this happened when I'm telling you.
I know, but it's still
when we look in the past, when Bill Clinton starts a war, Democrats love it. Okay? When George Bush starts a war, Republicans love it.
The only war he declared on was other vaginas in the White House.
I'm just telling you that there is consistent literature that
he was
that
fucking
shows
everything in moves.
But shows that this is correct, that this is consistent. When a Democrat president starts a foreign war, Democrats love it. When a Republican president starts a foreign war, Republicans love it. It is pure, unfiltered, uncensored, direct fucking partisanship.
I think the establishment does. I don't think the Republican voters do.
You have to understand. It is by Republicans. I mean the Republican establishment, and the Democrats.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if I mean them. I think actually the Democrat voter also likes it too.
I was going to say the Democratic voters also. The Republicans voters no.
I'm only saying that because of the data that I've seen. But and I'm not trying to say like one side is evil or the other side is not. But violence, people like violence. They do. We're apes, okay? We're a bunch of fucking monkeys. Get this shit straight.
Speak for yourself.
No, people are fucking apes, dude.
I know, but you and I are not monkeys.
Hopefully we're not fucking apes, but maybe some of us are. But like this basic intergroup dynamic is persistent. People like just being like, go bomb the people I don't like. You've seen how much hatred there is towards Russia right now. You don't think that it would be popular? Yes, of course it's completely irrational. Which is, and it's completely created by the media narrative. Just as it was with Afghanistan, just as it was with Iraq. But they created one narrative that was more, friendly towards the right wing when they were in power, and one narrative now towards the left wing when they're in power. The reality is that the deep state wants war because it's profitable.
Yep.
And people fall for it and support violent war for no goddamn rational reason.
Because my stupid TV told me so.
Because the TV, that had the letter of my fucking political belief attached to it tell me it was good for me to support it. And unfortunately, that's about as deep as most people think about things. I'm not trying to insult people, but that is the reality of it.
I'll insult people though, because I don't give a fuck.
I know. You mind reading this for a minute? Or where are we at? Oh yeah, to give him credit, yeah. So here, please.
Let's see, they quite rightly didn't want to put American boots on the ground, but if you're not going to put your own military in harm's way, at least you can do is put our allies and make sure they're suitable for war they've been forced to fight. I like the way that he, in the one hand, says our military in harm's way, but you're going to put the Ukrainian military in harm's way using American money. So basically, you're paying with the American tax dollar to turn the Ukrainians into cannon fodder to weaken Russia.
Yes.
Which makes you an evil bitch, Douglas.
You are evil, and it's all for your own political benefit, which is the most fucking... People are dying, and you're exacerbating the fucking death toll for your own political benefit. You can kiss my ass over that.
Yeah, does anyone remember a while ago where Putin wanted to negotiate for peace, and then Boris Johnson went over there and said, like, no, don't do that.
And Boris Johnson
went over
and said, I don't think...
Yeah.
Why would he do that? Oh, because it's
a money
pit. Politically useful and politically useful.
This whole thing has been a money laundering operation. No
it's absolutely fucking sickening.
Let's see.
Thousands of people are dying for the West's political
hegemony.
War games.
Yep, liberal hegemony. So. Perhaps,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, perhaps because the support of Ukraine has been under the period of democratic rule that certain Republicans have turned against it. Yeah, that's the reason why, Douglas. It's not because this is really unpopular with the people they're supposed to represent. No. It's not because this is furthering inflation because you're printing a fucking lot of money. It's not because you're basically laundering money, as you did with the FTX scandal, which he doesn't mention here. I wonder why. Of course not. Let's see, and perhaps they're fed up with Pelosi and Biden's grandstanding. So you are admitting it is grandstanding.
It is grandstanding. I mean, that's what you seem to be saying here, my dude.
Yeah, okay. Maybe they're fed up at being made to feel like Ukraine is this month's cause, because it is. But whatever the reason, some members of the Republican Party have gotten themselves into a very troubling corner. It's actually a very sane corner.
Not supporting your fucking insane global hegemony?
Yeah.
Global liberal hegemony? Which they usually do. Just in this one case, for fucking once, the Republican Party went, I don't know if we're cool with that globalist liberal hegemony.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they totally support it. And they'll support it, by the way, don't get this shit twisted. If it's in their benefit, they'll support the globalist liberal hegemony in some other fucking country that they want to glass and turn into a glass car park. Don't get that shit twisted in the slightest.
Yep. For instance, this week, Republican Representative Matt Gaetz boastfully tweeted, I will not vote for another $1 to Ukraine. Based. Well done, Matt Gaetz. That's good stuff right there. Yeah. It's the other Republicans have joined him. Good, including more important figures like Kevin McCarthy. Wow, that's unusually based. That will not last, by the way. Who said that Republicans would ensure Ukraine would not get a blank check from America, as though anyone ever said it should. Douglas, you literally started off this fucking article by saying defeat Putin. What the fuck does that mean then?
I don't know.
You were literally giving other countries shit for stopping, and now you're saying, oh, it doesn't mean a black check. Yes, it does.
You know what it means is that people like this, which by the way is a complete fantasy that will never happen. People like Douglas, in this instance, who again is not a fucking moron, which is what really confuses me, wants the United States to drop a nuke on Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all.
But they definitely want to get rid of Putin.
I see that. I see that as a consistent narrative. Why? Why did we drop? Well, again.
No, why would they want to get rid of Putin?
Oh, why they want to get rid of Putin? Because he's a threat to their hegemony.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, I'll get to that in a second. Now, with the Republican enjoying a razor-thin majority in the House, even the most fringe members of the Republican Party could have a significant impact on world events. Oh, like, my God. Can you imagine a bunch of Republicans saying, let's try for a peace deal and not escalate war? What an asshole. If they decide if they decide to make the arming of Ukraine a partisan issue, it's not because it's what their voters want or anything. I mean, fuck what the voters want. They could wreak havoc. Good. And what exactly do these anti-Ukraine Republicans hope to achieve? How about not escalating to World War III, Douglas, you fucking idiot?
Apparently that's not where he's at. He does want to escalate to World War III. And why? Do you find it really weird that there's so many of these people who just seemingly they just want to engage in violent warfare as if they're pretending that it wouldn't affect them?
Yeah, it seems to be the case. It is understandable to take the lessons from Iraq and Afghanistan that America should not be in the business of state building, though there was something America used to be perfectly good at decades ago, but finally backlash is underway. By decades, do you mean since the war? They had one successful attempt at this, which was Germany, and now, and so you are advocating for regime change in Russia, Douglas. That is what you're advocating for.
Dude, this is what I can't fucking understand. Is that I've seen every reasonable people I would describe as reasonable, like left center person that I used to respect. Well, not everyone, but a whole bunch of them just go from, hey, war is hell. Can we please do everything we can to avoid war, and then change their opinion into, why don't we just drop a nuke on them?
Yep.
And I'm for the last year now, half a year, I guess, I've been totally gobsmacked. How? I don't want nuclear war. Why is it that
how,
I mean, I know
I don't understand how you go to the Ukraine and you see the devastation and go, Putin must be stopped, rather than, can we try for a peace to avoid this? It's
well, no, they're actively now. I'm seeing reports of people actively saying no peace, no matter what. I'm seeing this all over the place of no, Putin's Hitler too. So no peace until we kill him. And I'm like, oh, so you want full-on war with Russia? Yeah, we want full-on war with Russia. And are you fucking out of your mind?
Yep, this is. What is more likely to keep American troops out of harm's way than to make sure a vicious opponent like the United States cannot win a war he began? Arming the Ukrainian to push the heck out of Putin is not just a gamble, it has already worked. If you think the Ukrainians are honestly going to beat the Russians, you are out of your fucking mind.
And by the way,
we were talking about this earlier. Gonna happen.
We were talking about this earlier. It's only very recently, U.S. media has started to report on the fact that actually the Russians aren't getting their shit pushed in as much as has been completely published by the West.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with the fog of war is that the Russians are never going to admit that they're having a hard time, right?
Yeah.
Of course they never would. That would be deleterious and stupid for them to say that.
The problem is both sides are sucking at this.
But both sides are not reporting correct information because that's how war works.
But the Russians are far better armed.
Propaganda.
But the Russians do have the upper hand.
Russia is a country that's 10 times the size of Ukraine.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about in terms of just the size, which it's way more than 10 times, I think, in terms of just physical size.
Also,
but they've got way more military power. They've got way more people to throw at them. So the idea that Russia is just going to lose this war against a small country. Now, again, it would have been over a year ago, but the rest of the world has pumped money into Ukraine. And I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong. If you think you're doing it for humanitarian reasons, I can understand it. But if it wasn't for the fact that the entirety of the West was propping up Ukraine, they would have, it would have been
gotten
over.
their ass kicked by fucking ages ago, yeah.
In April, you know?
Yeah, throwing this is going to be an incredibly unpopular opinion, and this is going to sound cruel, but throwing money into the Ukrainian hands is A, you don't know where the fuck that money's going. 2, you are
right back into Joe Biden's hands, probably. But,
yeah.
Well, no, and what was it? Yes, and the which we now actually know, it does go right back into the hands of the Democrats when you fund Ukraine. It does, which was that Bitcoin scandal.
Yeah, the FTX scandal.
The FTX, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
FTX gives a bunch of money to Ukraine and takes it and gives it right back to the Democrats in the United States.
Yeah,
so.
they were basically washing taxpayer money through this thing.
They were washing it. Yep.
And then to use it. So they basically stole taxpayer money to fund their campaigns.
Yep. They laundered money through Ukraine. It would not be the first time. That's why it is so important to the Democrat Party to keep Ukraine, because it is their money laundering scheme, yeah.
Or apparatus, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, see, it has already worked. One of the reasons why the Ukrainians have had such success on the ground and Putin is in a retreat that I have seen. The fact that he's retreating does not mean he's losing. It could just be that he is doing, he's re-strategizing.
I also just want to say that, like, just because all of the things that we're saying are correct doesn't mean that what's happening is moral good. Okay, war is hell.
Pragmatic, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's just civilians being killed over this shit is always disgusting. It's always repugnant. It's always evil. But that's what war is. It doesn't. Us trying to describe why this is happening from a logical sense does not in any way justify the evils of war and the evils of what Russia is doing. Okay, does that I hope put some necessary moral caveats on
a
why
tactical
we talk about
retreat.
things
Yeah,
we
there
talk
you
about
go.
it.
I saw a report earlier on Zero Hedge. There's like 80% of Ukraine's power grid has been knocked down.
Yes.
Have you heard any of this in the mainstream media?
No.
Nope. Why do you think that is? Well, aside from the fact that they wouldn't be able to get the message out because they don't have any fucking power. But
well, there's been a concerted effort to say that Ukraine's been winning.
Yeah, which is
for months, and they have
true.
been able to stave it off. And the reason they've been able to stave it off is entirely because of $100 billion that was given from the United States government and other governments across the world. It's $100 billion in total has been given from the United States plus a lot of other countries, Germany, France, etc., have been given to Ukraine. UK, yes, of course.
Let's see. Back in February, when this war started, the civilized world agreed that Putin could not get away with his actions. I think civilized world is maybe a bit of a stretch. Countries who have wreaked havoc on the question were shamed, except for the BRICS nations. The Germans, for instance, were initially reluctant to help Ukraine because Germany is so reliant on Russian gas. Yeah, so instead of
and then blew up that pipeline.
Yeah,
oops, ooh.
Yeah, and then you decided to blow up the pipeline because you're a bunch of cunts. Back in February,
and it does appear that it was the Germans, maybe, who did it. I don't know. Of course, the West wants to say that it was Putin who did it, but that makes no logical sense. That doesn't even make any sense. So
since then, the question which Europe power would go weak first, any of them, by the way. Would it be Germany, France, or Italy? Surely one of them would break the line the West has been holding. I'm hoping it'd be Germany because it would be better for the German people and not freeze to death and basically get a crap load of money. Because you know who's been making money hand over fist from this? The Americans. You know why? Because they're selling LNG. So I find the Americans are such fucking cunts. They blow up the pipeline and then go, "Oh, we're gonna slowly wean you off of Russian gas you can buy our gas, which is like 10 times the fucking price because fuck Russia and they're bad people, and we're gonna just basically sell you fucks out. We're gonna give you a crap load of taxpayers' money, make a shitload of money selling LNG, and we're just gonna basically kill the Ukrainians to make fucking money for our state."
Yep.
But America is such a nice country. Fuck you.
It's bizarre to me. Like I constantly get called a traitor and stuff, and it's like, just because I don't worship America's shit, excuse me, no, it's because I love America that I am critical of my own my native country's politics, and I don't want my native country, my homeland, to engage in international warfare that really doesn't involve us.
Yeah.
In this bizarre proxy.
And there's no
manner,
benefit to whatsoever.
Which we have done now for 50 years, 60 years. I do not find this to be representative of the ideals of America.
Yeah. Not at all, no.
And so when you call me a traitor and I've been called a traitor many times for saying I don't want America to engage in this shit, I think you need to look at yourself when you say those things. No one here in the chat probably, but what is strange is that it now looks as though America, though it is America that could go wobbly on this war, thanks to a group of Republicans who seem to have tangled up Zelensky and Ukraine in a culture war and political war going on here at home.
Yeah, it's not because you've been sending $100 billion during a recession or anything.
Right. Remember, $100 billion during the worst global recession that we've seen
in 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
Hope they don't succeed. Of course, there should be oversight and scrutiny over every American taxpayer dollar that is spent anywhere, but there is none.
Yeah. And
there
also,
is none.
It's a bit weird to say that after there's been $100 billion. That's a really dumb thing to say.
Yeah. Kind of cute post facto.
Yeah.
but America needs a foreign policy as well as a domestic policy.
I want the foreign policy shut the fuck up and let's not engage in overseas wars.
The party of Reagan used to recognize that. No. Why do they want us? They want more. They are demanding.
Reagan didn't go toe-to-toe with the Soviet Union, by the way.
They're demanding. No, he didn't. They're demanding we go into another Afghanistan. That's what they want. They do not just want, nay, demand we have another Afghanistan. How'd that work out? That we forcefully spread our beautiful American democracy by force.
And it lasted for all of 2 days before the Kabul went to shit.
And Spoon, as I've said before, they will bring this up. Oh, well, it's our glorious liberal hegemony project has worked in the past. Oh, where did it work? Where did it work, Spoon?
Germany.
Germany was already a different situation. Where did American liberal hegemony work to enforce new democratic systems into a country? Oh, was it Japan?
I was going to say, well, it's Japan.
Oh, was it the country that we nuked twice?
Yeah. And the other one was Germany, which you did an entire regime change on.
Absolute insanity. To act like you don't have to do that kind of shit. If you don't have to completely destroy a country if you want to install new regime change. And you got to be really hopeful that that country would actually be willing to accept such a regime change. Yeah, South Korea is going okay, but it's Japan, South Korea, Haiti's not going well.
No,
and that's it. That's it.
But the reason that this whole stupid thing bothered me is he in no way discusses how any of this shit would impact the wider world.
No, of course not.
Right, just like in no way discusses like how would this impact, say, for example, China or the countries that did not condemn Russia? Would they be punished for supporting Russia? If so, how would they with what? Like how does this impact, for example, the BRICS nations? Who are you going to put forth as a Washington puppet, as you no doubt will try and turn this into another vassal state of the Americas? Like how will this impact global energy or Russia's foreign relations?
Yeah, I don't want countries to be vassals of America. I do not want countries to... Sorry about the update thing there. Yeah. I do not want countries that are not America to be vassals of America.
Yeah. But when he says...
And I think that when people say shit like that, they want a global hegemony.
Yes, but when...
let's not bother reading this sport hero shit.
Yeah, but when he says, like, we must defeat Putin, okay, and then what? And you know what else is absent from this? Yeah, there's no perspective on the other side. No. Right? Which is funny because he mentions Reagan, but he doesn't mention anything post-Reagan. He doesn't mention the Wolfowitz Doctrine, George Kennan's warnings over the expansion of NATO. NATO is completely absent, by the way.
Of
the Euromaidan, the corruption of Biden family, their involvement with Ukraine, the recent FTX crypto scandal, the damage to the Nord Stream pipeline, the Bucharest summit of 2008, Russia's nuclear capabilities. No, it is just a blanket piece of partisan that is just like, no, we should... Like this is a policy that would get Pentagon raging hot on.
Every citation on lock right there. Very good.
Yeah.
But very accurate.
It's because I fucking did my research on this shit. And when I listen to Douglas, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Douglas?
I know. We both have. And that's the thing, we both have. And it is frustrating because you and I don't hate America.
I don't think the policies of the BRICS nations were written by a World Economic Forum.
No. I do find it very frustrating that
the World Economic Forum does not like the BRICS nations.
No, they do not. But the thing is that your opinion and my opinion is not based on some kind of just pure American hatred, which is how we always get portrayed, right? I love America. I wanted to not do these things.
No, we're more isolationists, to be honest.
Yes, I want America to not do these things.
We're pro free trade. We're
both pro free trade.
The reason I looked at this and I went, how does this, who's the main player involved? The main player involved here is Germany. Because Germany has, next to Japan, has the most number of US military bases. And the whole point of fucking NATO is to protect against Russia. If Germany can do business with Russia, and Europe looks at this and goes...
Well, that was shut down.
Yeah, but the thing is, Germany can show the rest of the world, hey, look, Russia is not this thing to be feared. Russia is a good, reliable trading partner.
Well, Germany doesn't have...
God damn it, Aiden, I'm still talking here.
Sorry.
If Germany and Russia can prove to the world that there's good foreign relations and the good business relations, because if they both benefit economically, there's less of a reason for them to get tangled in a war, because war would destroy them both. So why would they? So if they can trade, then as the old saying goes, if goods don't cross borders, soldiers will. So if they trade and other nations see, hey, look, Russia is not this beast to be feared, they will look at America and go, why in the fucking hell are we paying you for military defense when the main person you're defending of is our best business partner? Fuck off, America. And America would lose influence in Europe, and they do not want that. It's power. It is purely about power and control.
100%. And what has happened in Germany? Of being like, no, Germany, you're not allowed to get energy from the country that you agreed to buy energy from. You can't you can't produce your own energy.
They're still under contract to get paid, by the way, regardless of whether or not Russia delivers the energy, which is fucked up.
But Germany is not supposed has been disallowed from producing much of their own energy because they had to shut down all of their
nuclear power. Nuclear power stations.
Even nuclear plants, but certainly
and you know what they're building now?
Gas plants, yes.
You know what they're building now?
Mm-hmm.
Coal.
Exactly. They're building new coal plants because they do have coal reserves. Obviously, they have access to coal, and they can't get the gas from Russia, so they are going back and
to dirty coal.
But I thought that we weren't supposed to do that because green energy.
Yeah, of course, green energy is just a way to get the rich.
It's just a giant fucking scam, and it really makes me disgusted.
I think that, by the way, I think that was one thing I heavily disagree with Trump on.
Yeah.
Was Trump saying that, you're going to be too reliant on Russia. Well, if you're not reliant on Russia, you're going to be reliant on somebody else, the Americans. And of course, the Americans would like that.
No, Germany should have built their own nuclear plants.
No, I don't think there's a problem with relying on Russia, because if Russia can sell you oil and gas, and you get good business deals from them, and Germany benefits because Germany can get cheap, reliable gas, and their economy benefits from this. There's nothing bad about relying on the one for the other. Like that's how nations work. That's how good business ties are built, is because there's a strong reliance. But the idea that this is somehow going to be a detriment, it's only a detriment to the Americas because it would build a good, healthy relationship with Germany. And America is shit scared of Germany because Germany would kick the shit out of the Americans when it comes to economic power.
If Germany really wanted to, they could absolutely kick our asses. And also, as
and America does not like that. America is definitely fucking shit scared of German economic might.
Yes. And as Ralmo and Wiggles have both said in the chat, which is exactly correct, there are clean burning coal plant technologies that are available now. If you want to build a new coal plant, yes, you can do it. That is considered green energy.
Yeah, do you know who also said?
And also you could build nuclear, but for some reason, and by this I mean it is the green lobby, it is the massive green lobby that is promoted by the World Economic Forum to say, no, you cannot use these energies. We have decided you cannot use these energies. So you must use energies that we approve of, which is wind and solar, essentially.
Oh, by the way,
and not nuclear.
Do you know who just recently said that nuclear energy is now green?
Who?
The EU.
Elon. Oh, how cute. All of a sudden, after 4 decades of saying that it's not green, even though it is.
Even Greta Thunberg said this is now green.
It's been green for.
Isn't that interesting?
I have been screaming this my entire life.
By the way, do you know who also has been trying to get its nuclear energy back up and running?
Who?
California.
Yeah. Well, now because they have no capacity to fund because
because wind and solar fucking sucks.
They don't fucking work.
And I was like, oh my god, nuclear is really carbon friendly. Like, yeah, no shit.
Get these new molten salt reactors. They are extremely safe. There's very little nuclear waste to dispose of, and disposing of nuclear waste really isn't that big of a deal, honestly, when you have so little of it as you do with the molten salt reactors. You can dispose of it safely. You really can. This is the safest, cleanest, and most productive energy sources that we have been able to discover as a human species. But
what was I going to say now?
But the problem is that they don't want people to have energy.
Yeah, of course
they want people to be reliant on their New World Order bullshit, you know?
Which is just going to kill people.
Of course. Speaking of which, Alyssa Milano gets rid of her Tesla to protest Elon Musk buys a Volkswagen. Misses the irony.
Yeah.
Here's Alyssa Milano, gave back my Tesla, bought the VW EV, love it. I'm not sure how advertisers can buy space on Twitter. Publicly traded companies. They've been doing that for a decade, Alyssa, you fucking moron.
Also, hold on a second.
Jesus Christ.
I want to show you a picture.
Is this Alyssa Milano muffin thing? Yeah.
Hold on, I want to show you a picture. Can you do me a small favor? Can you just can you pull up? Oh, for God's sakes! Now this picture is fucking tiny. Oh, where the hell is this? I had a picture of this that was really big earlier on. God damn it, you asshole! Where is this fucking picture now?
Huh?
Just give me 1 second.
I swear to God, I know anything about this. This was this is who I'm thinking. Yes.
Oh, here we go. Look up this picture.
Oh, how quick!
Wait, sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was loud as shit.
Sorry, this isn't it.
Can you put that picture up?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, what about this?
Just pull up that picture.
Sorry about the noise.
Oh, who is that in that picture?
Uh-oh.
That's Uncle Adolf. And
It is Uncle Adolf.
Yes, and what car is he sitting in? What brand do you think he's sitting in?
Could it be a Volkswagen? Oh, no.
Volkswagen.
Achtung. How could it be? Okay, so I thought this was Alyssa Milano, but I might be incorrect. It was one of these other fucking Hollywood actress
No, it
types
was
who,
her.
like, went... No, who went to, like, a... like, cookie... or went to, like, an ice cream shop?
Oh, was somebody else who did that shit?
It might not be her. No, I think it is her. Then.
Failed Austrian painted driving.
If you guys know who I'm talking about, let me know because I've forgotten. But there was like I thought it was Alyssa Milano who went to like this ice cream shop and there were gluten-free, low-calorie cookies or donuts or something that were available there. And she like it wasn't her then; it was someone else though who was like another female actress. Who cried about it on Twitter, but like, I got triggered and my eating disorder was triggered because there were low calorie treats at the frozen yogurt. It was a frozen yogurt. Alyssa Milano. Was it her? Or am I might be getting her confused. I think I am getting her confused then. Because there was a thing where like some fat fucking it was Demi Lovato. Thank you, Kizza. It was Demi Lovato. Yeah, not Alyssa Milano.
I can see why you get them confused.
My bad.
Yeah, the name's very similar, so yeah.
Similar shit, whatever. Either way, you can't deny the unbelievable stroke of irony. Unrelated. Milano was busy acting when she could have been learning about the broad strokes of World War II. Maybe her on-set tutor forgot to cover that whole thing, or maybe hanging around Tony Danza for hours made her little dents. But everyone knows the connection between Volkswagen and
fucking
the Nazis.
poor Tony Danza's getting thrown on a bus there for no fucking
Yeah, the fact that
reason.
like she's apparently the only person who doesn't know that Volkswagen and the Nazis were connected in any way. Like she had no idea about this. Hilarious.
By the way, I have to say, because I did a video on this before we did this one. I have to ask because when I see things like this, my mind says you must, on some level, know that you're going to get backlash for doing this. When I see this kind of shit, it makes me think you just want attention and you don't care whether it's good or bad. You just want people to talk about you. But like that,
That's all this is.
Yeah, but that to me is like a drug.
Of course it is.
Like I don't understand why you would want people to make fun of you. Like you don't care about whether attention is good or bad as long as people are talking about you.
Because in the past, Twitter would defend them from being made fun of. So they're still in that mindset that like Twitter will defend me. Yeah.
But like all the comments are like overwhelmingly calling her more like you.
No, but it doesn't matter. because she thinks that Twitter's still going to defend her. She's not used to reality.
I said in my video, I said you went from apartheid automobiles to genocidal junkers.
And
which is a good punchline, by the way.
Speaking of defending people, there's a growing shadow campaign to defend Joe Biden from House Republicans.
Oh God, you're gonna piss me off by reading this, aren't you?
Oh my God, I know. Do you want to read this?
No.
Okay. As Republicans prepare to use their new House majority to probe the Biden admin
I was so fucking
and
pissed
the
off reading
business dealings of the president's son, Hunter, Democrats are assembling a constellation of groups to respond. President Joe Biden hasn't said if he's running for re-election.
He has, by the way.
Yes, he has, by the way. So you're actually incorrect about this.
But this was before he announced, by the way. Like
it's November 24th. Okay.
That's 3 days ago. I think he's like in the last 24 hours. He said he's going to. Yeah.
Including launching intense opposition research efforts into Republicans leading the charge in Congress ahead of a likely rematch with former President Donald Trump in 2024.
Trump's going to beat him.
3 new war rooms have sprung up in the past 2 weeks to combat the House Republicans' investigations. You mean to, not get found out for your bullshit. Each backed by multi-million-dollar dark money budgets. Yours? You might want to rephrase your sentence because it sounds like you're talking about you, or whatever. And some of the best-known operatives. Oh, he is saying it.
Yeah, he is saying that. That's just a mask-off moment.
Wow. Full mask off. Dark money budgets and some of the best-known operatives in the Democrat Party. Great. Meanwhile, the Democrat DNC and outside groups have already retooled to shift from 2022 to 2024. It's clear the White House has been preparing for the anticipated barrage of meritless, of course, investigations from the House Republicans and outside groups are an essential component, said Ariadne Elrod, who helped run Correct the Record, which was a hilarious group. Do you remember Correct the Record?
I do not.
It was like Snopes, but it was just a pure Democrat Party thing.
Ew.
So it was, everything that you say that we don't like is wrong, which defended Hillary Clinton from congressional probes before her 2016 presidential campaign was up and running.
And how did she fare? Oh, yeah, she lost.
Oh, they never actually really investigated her. How cute.
Of course not.
Every White House has faced congressional investigations. None so much as the Trump one, and you're certainly trying to prevent Biden from being investigated. But the surfeit of well-funded groups shows eagerness amongst Democrat donors to defend Biden, or at least stop Trump, and a recognition that the fight over public opinion is at least as important as the legal one, since it will lay the groundwork for the next campaign. Quote, it is important that the opposition not get the upper hand in defining a false narrative, and outside groups can help mitigate that from happening.
Outside groups?
I know his name is Elrod, but I'm going to say Elrond just because. Elrond noted. The White House itself has been preparing for months for the barrage of inquiries. You've used this word twice. I can tell that you're trying to use big words, but you can't get away from me. A barrage of inquiries, adding both legal and public relations firepower to the White House counsel's office, which is quarterbacking its efforts and encouraging federal agencies to take similar moves. This summer, as it looked likely that Republicans would win one or both chambers of Congress, a small group of White House staffers began mapping out investigative angles, keeping close tabs on top Republican investigators, including letters of inquiry they sent to federal agencies. Getting the Fed involved, huh? Always gonna get those Fed boys. Please help. Fuck. Please, FBI, help us. You're our only hope.
Oh God, that's a horrifying phrase to hear.
You know that's how they fucking think, though, right?
Yep. There's a lot of constraints.
Yep. There's a lot of constraints on the administration when responding to outright investigations, even ones that are completely bogus, but none of which apply to outside groups, said Eric Schultz, a former Obama White House spokesman who tangled daily with Republican congressional investigators ahead of President Obama's 2012 re-election bid. For instance, government officials are prohibited by federal law from politicking. That doesn't stop them.
That doesn't stop them at fucking all.
And the White House prefers to stay above the political fray anyway.
You gotta be fucking
very
kidding me.
Funny. Very, very funny. I mean, there's some funny jokes in this.
Yeah.
This is a very hilarious article. So outside groups can provide political and PR support, especially in the absence of a Biden campaign, and can get down into the mud on especially sensitive issues like Hunter Biden. You're not even allowed to, I can't believe you're allowed to even post his name.
Yep.
You're not supposed to say it. You're supposed to you're supposed to be hiding that. Both sides insist they're just after the truth. I don't think so.
You are literally saying you want to smear the opposition. You are not interested in truth at fucking all. You've been openly saying you are not.
Yeah. You've openly said this, so I don't understand what you're doing here.
That's a total crock of shit. And you also said the investigation. You literally said the investigations by the Republicans are meritless, but we're going to assemble a crack team of dark money to smear them. But we're interested in the truth. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Fuck? This article is so funny. Like, you're not supposed to say this stuff out loud. You fucked up. I mean, I'm glad you posted it, because it's really funny that you admit to your nonsense. But you're not supposed to post this. Yeah. Thank you for doing it, though. But the politics of the situation is undeniable and only thinly veiled. Oh, you think so?
Yeah, especially from you.
Yeah, fucking did it again. Why is it this? I can't stand Yahoo. Like, it keeps refresh. Like, anytime I click slightly outside
Are you sure it's not your mouse button?
No, anytime you click slightly outside of the allowed for area, it just clicks. It brings up an ad. Where was I?
Further up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go, Jim Jordan.
Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio is poised, a Republican of Ohio, I should say, is poised to use his likely chairmanship of the Judiciary Committee to aggressively investigate alleged politicization of the Justice Department.
Alleged politicization of the Justice Department. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I know.
Is there anyone in this fucking chat?
Not from us,
like, does anyone think in this chat right now the Justice Department is not politicized?
Of course not.
Like, you gotta be high out of your fucking mind if you think it's not.
If it is, it's good, but only as long as it's in control of the Democrats.
Yeah.
Like
raiding Mar-a-Lago was
this is the stuff I looked at in my video that I'm working on, right? They will just straight up say, yeah, we don't care how fucking corrupt we are. And it's only left-leaning people. Right-leaning people will say that corruption upsets them and makes them disturbed. And left-leaning people will just go, oh no, make it as corrupt as possible as long as we win.
Yeah.
They say that when you ask them questions in the data, they just straight up fucking say it. They straight up say, yes, we love being corrupt as long as we win. And
whereas with the Republicans, like, is he a loyalist to Trump? No, they get him the fuck out.
How can you play fair with these people when one side says, oh, yes, we love cheating because we are so morally superior. We're always constantly morally outraged.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we need to win all the time. You can't play fair with people like that. Anyway, he said last month at CPAC that the GOP majority would work to frame up the 2024 race. Is that frame up the 2024 race?
That seems like more your line than theirs.
What? It doesn't even sound like anything nefarious at all.
Yeah.
Frame up? Just he's trying to provide a political frame, meaning
I'm not quite sure what that
means. That we want. No, a frame means here's the things that we're going to frame.
Prop up, yeah.
This is no way somehow a conviction of him.
Yeah, I don't know.
These are sham investigations. You can take Jordan's word at it, said Kyle Herrig, the founder and executive director of one of the new war rooms, the Congressional Integrity Project, which is relaunching to counter the investigation.
I'm not going to take your word for that, by the way.
No shit. They don't have an agenda that will help Americans.
Yes, they do.
They only have one agenda, and it's a political agenda. Yeah, I mean, like, keep talking about yourself.
Yeah, that's
Kyle,
just projection.
Yeah. Congressional, I don't care who it is. If it's right or left. You have a political agenda. Both sides do. No shit, idiot.
That's politics, you fucking moron.
Ugh. The Congressional Integrity Project, which already has focus groups underway.
Which is an oxymoron of a name, by the way.
Sure, yes, it is.
Congressional integrity. You're fucking kidding me.
I know. Promises to be as much about the offense as defense. Wait a minute, what?
How do you have offense when you're on the defensive?
Aren't you just trying to make sure people's votes get in? Oh no, you're going to be offensive? I see. It plans to investigate the lawmakers investigating Biden. Oh, there's your offense.
Hmm.
You're not allowed to investigate our people. Now, are you? Now, if you investigated Trump, which they did, like 6 different times, and they only brought 2 up that got past the point of, wow, that's fucking stupid, to the point where no one could even take it seriously. How dare you investigate Biden, though, right? My God, these people are so... You're so...
Mask off, brazenly partisan.
So mask off, not just partisan, but overtly evil.
Yep.
I know that you can't see it, but dear God, just like, no, we're just gonna cheat. We're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want, and accuse you of it while we do it, because we're so holy that we're allowed to.
Yep.
This is why they abandoned God and replaced themselves as God. This is why this is happening, Spin. Because they see themselves and their politic
As
as
morally
holy.
righteous, yeah.
As morally righteous and holy. So therefore they can do no wrong. So it's fine when they do it. Many of whom hail from the safe congressional districts and have never faced a tough election and the kind of opposition research and media scrutiny that it brings. Oh no! You mean a Democrat might have to run in a non-Democrat area where they're guaranteed to win? Where they have 100% control over a city like San Francisco?
And will win with 120% of the vote 5 days later.
Right, that would be very hard for them to run in an area where you haven't completely controlled everything. That would be difficult for them. We're going to leave no stone unturned. No one has done the investigative research we've done on these investigators. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Very funny, Herrig said. We have a multi-million-dollar budget. Of course you do! And we're staffing up with a team of researchers and communicators.
So basically, you have no intention of actually...
Limitless budget.
Yeah, so basically you have no intention of using the money to actually investigate the corruption of the state. You're just going to smear the opposition.
It is a pure oppositional smear campaign with a limitless budget.
Yep. Away from the taxpayer.
They're bragging about it right here, guys. Herrig's group is working with another Courage for America, which just launched. While the Congressional Integrity Project is focused on the investigations, Courage for America is focused on the legislation and personalities of the entire House GOP caucus. Oh, so you have another group that is based exclusively on disparaging their persons.
Yes.
Among other things, that means making firebrand freshman lawmakers famous. And it means highlighting and mobilizing opposition to GOP policies, such as proposed national abortion bans and potential cuts to Social Security and Medicare.
Oh, so you're just going to use this to make yourself famous and smear campaigns?
I guess so. Quote, the American people need to be introduced and educated about the extremist agenda of this new White House and also who these new members are, said Zach Petkanas, who was the Clinton campaign's rapid response director and is now running a war room supported by Courage for America. Quote, it is a very dangerous new caucus, and we're going to be there every single day making sure people know about it. Okay, with a seven-figure budget and support from the Hub Project, a giant Democrat dark money network, the group plans a robust operation including polling, paid advertising, and social media campaigns, along with traditional opposition research and communication.
Have you noticed something about this whole thing so far?
Yeah.
There is literally nothing about investigating Biden for his crimes. None. It is literally just about tanking the opposition's efforts.
It's like, how do we make shit up about Republicans? They're literally they're saying it. How do we make shit up about Republicans?
How do we discredit the opposition?
Starts with the third group.
This is the third group. First fact, I hate that you make me read this, was started by David Brock, the former self-described right-wing hitman who had a political conversation, and used his fundraising talents to start a series of groups that have become key parts of democratic infrastructure. These include Media Matters, American Bridge, both.
Oh fuck! It did it again. I'm sorry. It's fucking Yahoo News. Like anytime you click, even if you're just trying to scroll down to the fucking page, it freaks out. There it is. Sorry. David Brock.
Yes, yeah. It does include Media Matters and American Bridge, both of which have stepped away from the start facts first. I love the way that these people name their places like they name their bills, and it's the complete fucking opposite of the name of the bill.
Yeah, of course. It's just pure propaganda.
Yeah. Brock said an American bridge donor had already pledged a 6-figure to support Facts First. Of course he did. Which he said would likely have made $10 million budget over 2 years. Co-founders include former Republican Representative David Joll, a Trump critic who has since left the party, and longtime Democratic strategist Maria Cardona. Unlike the other two groups, in order to maintain its independence, Facts First did not formally approach the White House for its blessing, though back-channel communications led it to believe effort is workers. Yeah, Brock
not in public, of course.
Yeah, of course.
They probably did in private. I would imagine.
Mr. Brock has also found the pro-Clinton corrected record and said that experience taught him in a new group needs to be more aggressive on social media and conduct more opinion research.
Even more aggressive?
Yes, to understand how Americans view the controversy de jure. I do believe, absent a vigorous operation like the one we're putting out, I think it makes it difficult for President Biden to be reelected, he said, before quickly adding, it's Republicans who are really making this a political issue. We're doing this in response. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
You have to understand what they're saying here, right? Is that Republicans exist. We need to engage in vast psychological operations. No, this is not a smear campaign. This is psychological operations. It is. But it's also psychological operations. We need to get into people's brains and fuck with them because that's the only way that we can win.
Yeah.
They're just admitting it. They're just admitting it.
Listen to this. Of the new groups, Brock appears to be working most closely with Hunter Biden and his legal team.
Yeah, of course. I know. So Hunter Biden's the one. Hunter Biden is involved with this.
Let's see. Hunter Biden's relationship struggles with drugs and alcohol and business efforts to fund it all. I should
but
be a
he's
major
a good
focus of
guy.
Republican inquiries. Yeah, I wonder why. Republicans have argued that Biden's helped his son's overseas business dealings, because we have. That's what the laptop literally claimed. Their claims was at the center of Trump's first impeachment, but are still searching for evidence to prove it. It's on the laptop, which you fuckers didn't say is actually real. You conveniently said it was Russian disinformation. Now, I don't know about you.
No, they have reported now that it's real, but they swept it under the rug when they admitted it.
No, but here's the thing. By calling it Russian disinformation, this does not make any sense.
Oh no, it's all to make it so that they can use it as an excuse to go to war with Russia.
No, I get that. But here's how it doesn't make any sense. Okay? Because if you are going to say this is Russian disinformation, that tells me you need to know what is on the laptop in order to claim it's Russian disinformation.
Very good point, right?
So if you just say this is Russian disinformation and you don't know on it, this would make you a liar. Number one.
Very true.
Number two, if you claim it was not Russian disinformation, but you kept it anyway, and you looked at it for like 8 or 9 months, that then suddenly come out and say it's real, that tells me your first initial claim of Russian disinformation is then openly a lie. And two, how did you know it was suddenly real after 8 months? How did you not build up a case for all of the evidence in order to say it's real?
I don't know. Oh, yep. Says in the chat, they're basically confessing. How the fuck are they not in prison? Why would they care? They don't care.
Now you see,
confessed.
No one is going to point that weird shit up at me because I'm weird.
They are all but confessing. They have confessed most of it, and they just. You have to understand.
To square the opposition. Okay. It's just politics.
No. You have to understand the leftist moral foundation here, which is that they are so much more moral than you and me. Every single one who believes in leftist politics. They are so much more virtuous. Spoon, I'm serious.
I know, but it's
they are
rubbish.
So much more virtuous than you or I or anyone in the chat could ever possibly be. And they have such an immense understanding and connection to understanding what's good, not just for them, but more importantly, for everybody else. That they should all, and I mean, this is like every person who believes this shit, that they should be able to make decisions for you because you're a stupid, ignorant fucking hillbilly. But they love you and they'll be able to tell you what the fuck is good for you. And if you don't agree and go along with it, you need to be fucking murdered. And I'm only saying this, it blew my mind. Because I always would hear things like that. People, say things like that I thought were very simplistic ways of describing politics. And then I read the most recent research on it. That's what it is. It's not a meme. It's not a joke. It's not a simple oversimplification. It is. If you do not agree, like I am more moral than you, and if you don't agree with me, it is my right to kill you or torture you until you accept how morally superior I am. It's right fucking there in the literature. It is right fucking there in the data.
Yeah,
And
Sam Harris would agree with you, Aiden. We should ask him on Twitter. Oh wait, we can't because he deleted his account.
Oh right, yeah. What a fucking. He's got still like 2 days left, I think, and I think he'll be back.
Yeah,
But
he probably will be.
I was really shocked. I was stunned by
Sam Harris
how.
is such a.
No, I was just stunned by like how actually evil people are. I didn't think it was true. I didn't think it could be possibly true that people could be that evil.
I need alcohol straight from the mason jar. I don't usually drink moonshine.
I can say some moonshine. Anywho, let's finish this and then actually go to bed. Speaking of which.
Yeah, sleepy spoon.
Yeah, I'm the same. Sleepy.
Let's see. Hunter Biden's relationship struggles with drugs and alcohol business efforts to fund it all should have been a major focus of Republican inquiries. Republicans have long argued that Biden helped his son with business dealings. They claim at the... Okay, I already
Don't read it like that.
Yeah, sorry. Brock recently traveled to Los Angeles to meet with Hunter Biden and said he came away reassured. That's probably because he was high.
And topped off, if you know what I mean.
You mean sexually or money-wise?
Yes.
Great answer, but that's that is a really fucking good answer. I wasn't I wasn't expecting that. That's well done. I came out of that not nervous. I came out of that thinking that we are able to show over time this is a Republican fantasy narrative driven by a lot of unreliable witnesses and spurious conspiracy theories. It's not, by the way. That's what the laptop literally has fucking gigs of Hunter being a degenerate fuckwit, and the paper trail is many, and maybe ask his business partners. Let's see. The main story here is that there's an addictive person who has mental health issues of the kind that are in most American families. Really, I don't know most American I don't know most American families that are extremely well connected politically and then do drugs and then go around
Parmesan cheese
and then go all around the world fucking whores and then getting their daddy and taxpayer money to bail them out for doing so. I don't know if this is the majority of American families.
I don't think this is the majority of American families, but nice cope, NBC. And then republished by Yahoo News.
Also, I saw the story is of Joe Biden is an empathetic father. You gotta be fucking kidding
What
me.
a wonderful daddy he is. Two things. Elliot Van Wall, Hayden's innocence shattered. I don't think it's my innocence shattered because I'd like to explain again a bit of my background here.
Aw, Aiden's adorable.
Thank you, but that's gay. I didn't think people were evil. I didn't think people were evil, Spoon. I didn't think people were evil.
No, I thought people were evil as shit.
I didn't. No.
I come from South Africa.
Look, I've spent my entire academic career reading research that says people aren't evil. Like, there can be people that are evil, but that people inherently aren't evil. And then I find this whole area of research, and it's all from the last 4 years. It's all recent research, and it's all oh, hey, here's all this evidence of how people are really, really, really fucking evil. I didn't know how to respond to it.
Remember when Jordan Peterson said, realize you have the capacity for great evil.
Yeah, I know. And I do talk a lot about Jonathan Haidt's research, by the way, guys. Haidt will be covered, and his research on libertarians. I have a very specific section on libertarians and Jonathan Haidt's research on libertarianism in the new video. But
that sounds like Anna Kasparian if she was a Nazi.
What? What does?
It's a boss, I'm really concerned you've never came across I'm better than you, and so do as I say or I'll have you killed. Like, that's Anna Kasparian if she was a Nazi.
Yeah, that's Anna Kasparian. No, I felt
she would have been one of Hitler's biggest supporters.
The fact that there are people like that is so extremely disturbing and disconcerting to me. I really didn't think that it was as prevalent as it is, and it turned out it was a whole bunch of people. And it is, yes, it's not just evil. It's not just evil. You're right, El Gusto. It is hate. And more than anything, it is envy. And jealousy. And they want to take whatever you have, and they get angry at the idea of not being able to have what you have. It's called malicious envy. There's also another type of it, which is there's distributive versus, oh shit, I can't really type, but they want to basically string you up, and they have no issue with it as long as you have more than they do. I could not believe the results of these data that were published just like 2 years ago. I mean, you would think that these were things that would be published in the fucking Middle Ages, but they were published like 2 years ago. It was completely modern data that prove and evidence that the people who describe themselves as left-leaning are completely sadistic. I never would have believed that that was true. But because I don't want to be like the Young Turks. Do you know what I mean, Spin?
Well, we are better than them, though.
No, I mean, I don't want to be like them of being like, oh, I don't like this person. I'm gonna... No,
I mean,
no. I'm not talking about any individual. I was just... It was horrifying and shocking to me that people could be this way. I didn't understand it, and I still don't completely understand it. I've seen the literature.
Yeah, you can see it during the coof.
I know, but
Yeah,
it still does. It still does make me very upset. Anywho, let's get over it. I will get over it. I was gonna record it today, but I'll record it tomorrow because my voice is now back to normal. I'm now over the coof, so I'm okay. Mostly over the coof, so I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay.
I would say it's the stream.
Maybe, but I think I'll be okay and better by tomorrow. Kizza for £5 says, though, I was a wonderful, I, as a wonderful uncle, would never let his infectiously cute niece end up like a degenerate junkie retard as Hunter Biden. Well, I really hope that you do not. And congratulations and good on you, Kizza, because woo, lad.
Well, you just have to not have a, perverted sniffing father, and you seem to be all right.
Yeah. Anywho, though, yep. That's all I think we have. We'll do another stream in like 3 days.
Yep.
So, yep, we'll be back. We just wanted we had some extra stuff to go through. I think you and I were both feeling a little bit energetic,
sleepy.
Right?
No, sleepy now, yeah, but yeah.
Well, now you're feeling sleepy, but we were both feeling energetic earlier. So, anywho, thank you guys so much, and I hope to try and get my video out as soon as possible. And I will see you, though, either way on Tuesday for the tabletop game stream, and then on Wednesday for our normal politics stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our rando impromptu stream here. And God bless and good night.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.